There we go. Okay, sorry.
I was about to say.
Oh my
I
goodness! Of
was like,
course.
am I
What a way
gonna
to
say it,
start.
or is Jonah gonna figure it out on his own? Oh, that was good.
That was a
This is
goaded
great.
way to start the stream, viewers. Me muting my mic, as always. As you can tell, it's been a really long day. It's me and Nick back for another stream, a watch party, our midnight watch party, as it is almost about midnight in Daytona Beach, Florida, for the Rolex 24 at Daytona. If you are enjoying the race, let us know in the comments down below. Let us know your thoughts on this entire race so far. It's been a lot happening at Daytona. We got a lot happening currently and a lot to discuss. Nick, welcome back to the watch party. You were here for the beginning stream, of course. Very successful. Super glad to have you then. Super glad to have you now. And I'm really excited to see what we can do today and right now.
100%. It's great to be back here. Yeah, we had an absolute mega stream. I think we're now at 42,000 views on that stream, which is just insane. So thank you, each and every single one of you, for coming in and enjoying the live stream. I know some of you guys don't have the ability to be able to watch this race, so this is your best option, and I'm glad you're sticking with us. So we really appreciate every single one of you for coming in and joining in on this. And, you know, we've been gone for about 6 hours now, and you could ask, how's the break been? I've not been on a break, guys. I've been editing videos. I posted a reel to my channel, Nicholas Poitras Motorsports, which you guys can go check out on Instagram, which I also connected with Jonah. And so I've been hard at work while doing it, while paying attention to this great American race. And with 14 hours, 33 minutes, plenty have happened. If I'm all good by you, Jonah, could I do a quick recap for y'all?
For sure. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Let's do it. So pretty much the first thing that happened about half an hour after we ended up on the end of the stream was Polo in the 93 car, who was running, I think, second at the time, had a mega puncture on his stint, had to go back, and he did a driver swap as well. About 5 minutes after that, the 23 Valkyrie, which has been pretty much the slowest Valkyrie all day, or sorry, not the slowest Valkyrie, it's the only Valkyrie, has been the slowest GTP all day, stalled multiple times and had to go to the pits for an issue. They have come out, but they are 17 laps down in 17th place. So they have a lot of work they got to do to be able to at least be able to beat the LMP2s. They just want to finish this race because a good result is out of the window.
For sure.
The next thing that happened was Van Thor, who was not Dries, but Lawrence Van Thor in the Porsche, went to Twitter to talk about the damage that we were seeing, or that we were talking about being repaired on the number 6 car, and said it was irreparable and massive floor damage. And I mean, I got to be honest, that car is out in P3 right now. I don't know what kind of damage is there, but it's very, very minimal. So they're working with it really, really well. So I have to talk about this battle that I'm looking at on track. The 93 cars battling, that's Polo battling with the 2 Porsches. This has been the only car that we've seen pretty much all day trying to take the fight to the Porsche. He got one down, and he's going to take another. So that's Polo getting both the 7 and the 6 car to move up into P3. Now, to continue on to what I was talking about quickly, Faf, my goats in the Lamborghini, they took the lead in GTD Pro. Just had to mention that there for my Canadian folks. About half an hour after that, 3 GTP cars almost crashed into each other entering the pit lane. It was Ota in the 93 car, Zilich in the Cadillac, and Ross in the BMW. All 4 of them almost crashed into each other, but, you know, these are some of the best drivers in the world, so they're not going to make that mistake. They all were able to do it. The JD Miller car, Jonah, led for quite a bit. So I know that puts a big smile on your face. At the hour 6 mark, though, the Penske, the number 7 car was in the lead. The LMP2 AO Racing 99 car was in the lead. The Paul Miller car, the number 1 car in GTD Pro, was leading, and the 70 car in GTD. But this was at the 6-hour mark. We're quite a ways away from that now, and we'll go over the running order in a bit. But we just have 2 more things to really talk about. First thing, car number 16, In the GTD category, the Mustang, the Riley Mustang, which has F1 driver Romain Grosjean, sadly retired from the race. And around this time, a lot of fog started to roll in on the track. There was a lot of issues for spotters up in the grandstands, and we know Daytona, they're so high up there, and they were pretty much, their jobs were pretty much done. They couldn't really do anything.
True.
And that was a massive issue for them. But as of right now, it's looking pretty clear down there at Daytona Beach, so no issues at all. So let's look now at the top of the timing sheets, and let's see who's up in front. We got Plo in first, we got Campbell in second, we got Heinrich in third. So that's Acura, Porsche in the top three. In LMP2, we have Rasmussen in the 99 car, who I believe is making his debut in that LMP2. In the 43 Interpol car, we have Garg, and Paul de Resta in the United car in third in the 22 car. In GTD Pro, we got Garcia in the number 3. That Corvette has been dominating all day, and it's still leading up in front. But that Paul Miller machine, the BMW, we've seen those two bang heads all last year long. They're within 1.2 seconds of each other in first and second. And the Manthey car, driven by Feller, in third. So really good job from the Grella team to get that up. And in GT3, Scott McLaughlin in car number 36 in the Z06 C8, doing a very, very good job. The Turner car, driven by Gallagher, in second in the 96 car. And a son of Riccardo Patrese, one of the Patreses, in the 34 car, the 296 in P3. That was a lot of talking and a massive debrief, but we're here and we made it. So, yeah, we got a lot of good racing to go on for the night stint.
Thank you for that recap, Nick. And yeah, that was really informative because, like, to be honest, like, there was points when I had to, like, switch away because, you know, I have to go for walks or something like that just to do something a little bit different. So it's nice to catch up on everything. But yeah, it's been an eventful race so far. So much happening. You know, even when we're coming back here after a long ways away from live streaming, a couple hours, there's still so much happening. For example, we just got word that the number 60 Meyershank Racing Acura, that's the car run by MSR, is just been given a drive-through penalty for the team working outside the pit wall. I think that's the same thing that we saw earlier or something like that. Can't remember exactly, but the 60 car currently in P5 overall, it's going to be drifting down the order, meaning that the number 40 car is most likely going to get into P5 and bring another Cadillac into the top 5. And yep, there we go. The move has been made. Also, a little bit of a switch at the top as well. Lauren Heinrich back in the overall lead for Porsche Penske Motorsport in the number 7 car. He's just past Alex Palou. Currently, as things stand, and how it has been for the last couple of hours, it has been clearly a battle between Acura and Porsche for the overall victory. The two factory Porsches have been up there. The 93 has been up there as well, and has really been those 3 cars that have taken turns in the leading positions. There's also been some shout-out performances. I mean, Nick, you mentioned earlier JDC Miller Motorsports leading overall. Time at Vanderhelm. It had a very impressive stint, I gotta say. We haven't seen that many impressive stints from Vanderhelm because, you know, he hasn't been really in that position before. But that was pretty impressive, I gotta say. And hopefully the JDC crew can get a good result. Currently, they're in P6, right behind Jordan Taylor's Cadillac. So if they can get into the top 5 right about now, this would be a massive result and get the 3rd Porsche in the top 5 as well. So we'll see how that goes. But Almendinger has come into the pit lane to serve his penalty. Unfortunately, that 60 cars dropped down the order.
And something has happened here with the LMP2s. Wow, they are causing chaos here at this Daytona.
Oh, that's the leaders. Stop. That's the overall leaders.
The leaders?
The overall leaders.
No way it is. It is. You're totally right. Into the bus stop, going wheel to wheel. That's not how you work, boys. Someone's got to give, but no one gave. And that's, again, the CrowdStrike car. That's like the 4th time I've seen it spun around on board with the 93 car. Watching as he comes in. Yeah, he just tries to go for the move around the outside, but just squeezes the car on that inside. And that just doesn't work, my friend. And wow, very good job for a 93 car. But most importantly, that is how he got overtaken. And that is how the 7 car got back up in front. So massive moment there within our fight. But No, I don't believe that was in the fight for LMP2 because Rasmussen in the 99 car, he's 11 seconds up in front. So whoever that was, it was a mid-pack battle, but whatever it was, those guys are not happy and down the order they have gone.
Yeah, and because it's so foggy out there and dark out there, it's kind of hard to tell what's what. You know, there's so many bright lights, so many dark patches of the track as well. It's kind of just a blur in some way. But we do know that the LMP2 cars were involved, and we do know that the overall leaders were involved as well, and that is how Heinrich got through into first, like Nick mentioned. So this is shaping up to be a very fascinating race. Things keep happening, and it is definitely shaking out to be a fantastic one, as we're not even near the halfway point. We're at 14 hours and 24 minutes remaining of the Rolex 24 at Daytona. We are going to be live streaming until clear over the halfway point as well. Our plan is to stream for the next 2 to 3 hours, depending on things. Of course, it's also late where me and Nick are as well on the West Coast, and so it's also you'll probably see us getting pretty tired because it's also been a very long day for us in terms of content and stuff like that.
Yeah. Both of us, we've already been up for 14 hours apiece. We've both been up since 6 a.m. So
Yeah.
we've been working overtime, but hey, that's what you got to do with these endurance events. If the drivers can do it, if everyone there at Daytona, we have no excuse not to. So we're going to be doing the best that we can through these next few races, or for these next few hours. But if you catch us yawning, don't be clipping us. Don't be clipping us. We're not bored. We're just a little tired, guys. So just
bear with us.
Just chill. Don't worry about that. But something I am going to worry about is in GTD Pro, a 55-second gap between first and second. So Hesse in the Paul Miller car, that's why he hasn't entered the pits yet, but into the pits he goes to serve his stop. 55 seconds, though, between Milner. Have we figured out how long these stops usually take? Because usually we've been seeing that they're in the stops, I think for a gas fill up, I would say maximum 30, 45 seconds. But the whole time you're in the pits, it's an extra minute and a half. So they're probably in there for a full lap. You probably lose a whole lap.
I would say for the GT cars, I would say probably a minute and a half for sure. I mean, for Hesse, we're about to see he's got a 55-second gap to Milner, and I expect Milner to take over at the front. Also, switch in P2 as Matt Campbell moves into second to reclaim Porsche's 1-2 in this race ahead of Palou, who is down to third. So that's how that's going right now. Hesse still in the pit lane for the BMW, the number 1 car, the sole car from the German the German manufacturer in that particular category. Of course, there's the other BMW in GTD, the number 96 Turner car. We've talked about that car quite a bit, and they are one of the front runners in the GTD category as well. IMSA's just showing a quick recap of kind of how that incident with the 93 and the Porsches and the LMP2 cars kind of played out. Everybody's okay. I'm sure the only big disadvantage in that is that Acura has lost the lead of this race and handed the advantage to Porsche once again. But it keeps changing hands. And the brilliant thing about Daytona, more so compared to other endurance races as well, is that by, I don't know, in the next 6 hours or so, we might see a completely different order. And that is what is so unique about Daytona as well. Last year, I remember we were in a similar position and we were kind of thinking like, okay, where is everybody? Ooh, lock up for the 93.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why if you're watching the cast, you saw me go, oh, is because I saw that massive walk up. I saw him almost go wide
live
in the air. This second hairpin, well, on the simulator, I use a really good high quality mod. On the simulator, that is the worst corner for the Acura. Getting the car and the brakes to migrate from the front to the rear, it's so difficult to manage that. So easy to lock up. And as you can see, even the best in the world lock up, as Alex Palou lost a considerable amount of time and it's now dropped back a little bit. And actually, he did lose it to Campbell, who's now up in the second. So a massive issue there. And hopefully those tires haven't flat spotted, because the thing is about these Michelin rubbers, they've developed brand new rubber just for this race. The thing is about them is that when you're breaking into the core of the tire and you're flat spotting that's rupturing the core of the tire. That is irreparable damage that will make your car slower and more difficult to drive. And so we got to see it. That was a massive lockup. So we'll have to see how his pace is going to be, but you can already see, look at how much of a gap he's already put on the 6 car. It's already 2.5 seconds between Campbell and Palou, as he's kind of struggling to get around this LMP2 car as we go through the hairpin, just not getting the power down he wants. So because of that walk-up, he has had a significant pace drop and a significant gap increase to the Porsches, which that's not what we want to see at all. That's not what we want. We don't want Porsche domination. We don't want that. But it's okay because it means for some good racing. So we'll have to wait and see for that. Now, in GTD Pro, the 1 car, which also switched drivers, Harper is now into the car.
Right.
7 seconds behind Milner in first. So they did lose a little bit of time on that stop, but not the end of the world, though. I bet you they could easily make up that 7.8 second gap in this next stint. And hey, they've probably got another stint for a clear hour, and 1 hour to do a 7.8 second gap. Oh, they can do that. And that car has been pretty damn fast here in the night stint. The BMWs, real fast.
They really are. Those M4s are flying out there. Both Harper and Parker Kligerman as well is on board that 96 in GTD. BMW definitely has a quick car here in the GT categories. And another car I want to mention in the pro class as well is Ricardo Feller's 911 Manthey Porsche, currently in third position. Remember, viewers, that car started right at the back of the GT Pro category. I believe it started in 13th in that class. But now Feller is into P3 and in a very good position to potentially challenge those 2 Corvettes who have been dominating this thing with the BMW up there as well. But I don't know. I mean, Manthey, while they're new to IMSA, they've been mentioning this, by the way. IMSA's been mentioning this across their entire stream, that while Manthey is new to IMSA competition, they are one of the most recognizable names in terms of motorsport programs in GT competition around the world. You know, you look to the 24 Hours of Nürburgring, they've won that multiple times. They're the most recent winners of Le Mans and LMGT3 in the last 2 years. So Manthey is quite successful, you know, and I think that it's showing in both categories. If it wasn't for a massive, almost 2-lap drive-through penalty for the 912 Porsche in GTD, that was the blue first form car, I think that entry would have been up in the top as well, but unfortunately it is down the order. Now, another entry that I want to mention as well is the 27 Heart of Racing Aston Martin in second position in GTD. Nick, earlier in the race, actually at the very beginning, we noticed that that car, driven ironically by Robichon, who's in the car now, started first, then drifted all the way down the order, was like 7th or 8th in the next couple of laps after the first one. And now that car is back in second. It keeps appearing in that realm of second position, third position kind of range, in the fight with the BMWs, the Ferraris, the Corvettes, etc. And I think that this just shows that Aston, and specifically that 27 car, is going to be fighting for this win, no matter kind of what happens. It seems to kind of just get into the fight no matter where it is on track.
100%. And I was just looking at the timing sheets because I was curious to see what kind of times Robichon in the 27 car was doing to Fuoco up in front. He's only a 10th faster than him. But the most important thing, Scott McLaughlin in the 36 car, he's around 8/10 faster than him. And he's about a second and a half behind. So that car is going to have to do some defending here on this stint. But just because it's losing out here in this stint doesn't mean it's going to be gaining in other parts of the stint some way down the line. So never count out that 27 car and that Heart of Racing team. If there's one team that I think, if there's one group where the Aston Martins are going to do well, I think it's going to be in GTD, and they're showing it right now with a lot of pace. Alvarez, car number 8, entering into the pits. He was, I think he was up in P3 at one point, but now entering into the pits in the LMP2 category. I wish we could talk about the LMP2 category more, but
Agreed.
The only thing that's happening is just negative stuff, and I don't really want to highlight over all the negative stuff. I've kind of said what I needed to say about that at the beginning. So hopefully we'll be seeing some more interesting battles and last lap battles here, but as of right now, it is looking pretty comfortable there. In GTP, though, Campbell putting another second onto Palou. That gap's now up to 3 seconds between the two of them. So that Porsche, it really shows in that mid to end of the stint, it just blows away the competition. I know we're talking about a bit of a battle between the Porsche and the Acura, but in this stage of the stint, there's no battle at all. The Porsche is just so much faster and so much more consistent through the times. And you can just see, just driving it, it just looks like a breeze, that car. It just looks so fun and so comfortable to drive. And I was talking about this with a few buddies before the race, because a lot of people were questioning coming into this race about, oh, well, Porsche kind of downgraded in their programs. Is there going to be some sort of issue with how the team's going to be run? But just think about it like this. You have a big company that has multiple brands and all this talent, and then you get rid of it. The thing is that talent has to go somewhere. So that talent either goes to other teams, or in this case, they went to the IMSA teams, as we saw with the number 6 car having half of the WEC roster in it and now half of the IMSA roster. And now that 7 car, getting a little bit of the WEC treatment as well. So because of that, all the questions about Porsche's capabilities into this race have been absolutely answered, because they have been the class of the field so far this race. And honestly, if they keep this up throughout the year, I don't see how they can't be champions in this format again. But the question, though, is in the next few months is what is the future of this program? I haven't really heard any news about stuff for 2027 and 2028 when it comes to the 962. I don't know if you have, or 963. Sorry, I don't know if you have, Jonah. But
I've actually in recent days, I've heard only positive things coming out of the Porsche camp. I've heard Roger Penske mentioning that he will be back at Le Mans, and he's doing it with none other than Porsche. He said he will pick other team, and he said that he will do it, quote, way before 2030. So Porsche are definitely going back to Le Mans. And I said this multiple times as well when Porsche left the WEC. When I was really disappointed when they announced that they would leave. And I was really just heartbroken, because this was 2017 all over again. After a couple of days, I made a video about it. After a couple of days of thinking about it, I really started to think about where Porsche were in terms of their goals and where they were kind of in general. And I also looked at their past as well and kind of thought okay, interesting. It's going to be fascinating to see how this progresses in some way. But I kind of looked at it and I went, okay, if you look at Porsche in the WEC, they have achieved everything that they set out to do and everything you can possibly do. They won the World Championship with the 919 and the 963. They won the Drivers' Championship with the 963 and the 919. And they won Le Mans. The only thing that they really want in the World Endurance Championship is representation and Le Mans. That would be the only thing that they really need. Representation and Le Mans. Yet, representation, they're not really gaining that from the WEC, at least right now, according to their goals. So the only thing they really want is Le Mans. And so I think that for them, you can clearly tell, and you can clearly tell by their image and what they're doing right now, is that America is the focus. North America is truly the focus in terms of the grand scheme of things for Porsche. And so I think that I don't know. I think that making their decision in terms of exiting the WEC was the right one. Because if you look at where they are right now in IMSA, they're leading 1-2, they're dominating this thing. And this isn't just down to the BOP. This is down to Porsche's experience and Porsche's car as well. It just shows they made the right decision. And I think that Le Mans is still a possibility for them. But right now, a full-time return to the WEC in these current regulations, I don't think is going to be happening for a while, because, at least with Porsche Penske Motorsport, I feel it's not in their goals. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But it's definitely going to be a fascinating season here in IMSA if Porsche continues this pace. I'm kind of curious to see what IMSA does for the next round at Sebring. If Porsche is this dominant throughout the rest of Daytona, I could see them totally nerfing them in terms of BOP and giving chances more to Acura. And I would hope BMW gets a better BOP as well, because currently they are not doing too well. But Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but clearly right now Porsche is the car to beat in the GTP category. They have the experience. They're proving it today. It has been an absolute masterclass from the Porsche Penske Motorsport squad and JDC Miller as well. They've been doing really well. But Heinrich leads by 6.2 seconds over Campbell in the sister car. Alex Palou continues to drop down the order in terms of gaps. What I am curious about as well, oh my goodness, I was just about to ask stint energy. That's exactly what I was going to ask, and then IMSA brought up the stint energy. Perfect. This is exactly, they read my mind. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. Okay, so the Porsches, so this is exactly what I was thinking. Okay, so viewers, the Porsches are on 56% stint energy, and the Acura, the 93 cars, on 52% stint energy. The Acura is lower than the Porsches. One of the reasons why I thought maybe Palou was dropping back was because of the stint energy, was because he was trying to save a little bit of energy in terms of trying to go a little bit longer on his strategy. That could be why he was dropping back a little bit. I think it's combined with the Porsches being faster and also that fact as well. But what this has done is that because Palou has dropped back to the Porsches, he's also dropped a little bit of time to Earl Bamber in the Whelen Cadillac, who's currently in P4 right now. That Cadillac is starting to catch up to Alex Palou. The gap is just 8 seconds or so to that Acura, and so Cadillac might find themselves in third. And this would be really the first time that the Whelen Cadillac is in a position to challenge the Porsches this race. They've not really been there in the fight during this race. They've been kind of in the top 5, but this is truly the time. And I was waiting for that Whelen Cadillac to get back into the fight. I feel that the time is now. It's time for Whelen Engineering to take the pressure to Porsche. It's time, if anybody's going to challenge them, it's them. And I truly do feel that the Whelen crew's got what it takes. They proved it in 2024. They challenged Porsche with Blomqvist versus Nauser in that closing fight at the end. I think it could happen again in 2026 if things go the way they're going right now.
You know, and I gotta be honest, I've been seeing the flashes from the Cadillac, and I gotta be honest, they peak higher than the Acura. I don't like to admit that, but they do, because I didn't think they were gonna be like this at all. You know, I've been so used to pretty much all of last year when it was coming to WEC or IMSA, I would turn on the TV. Oh, Cadillac just threw away another race. Click. Just like that's just what I've been known. But the thing is, and you know it, I know it, everyone that's watching the stream knows it. That car is so fast. When it's in the right hands and it's been used properly, I think that car could just damn about beat anything.
Yeah, agreed.
The thing is can you get that car to be harnessed? But now we're seeing Bamber. He's starting to pull in that gap a little bit, and it could be something that could happen very, very soon. And I would like to see that battle between the Cadillacs, the Acuras, and the Porsches. Into GTD, however, there's a three-way battle for second place. Scott McLaughlin got in front of Robichon. He's, into second place, the 36 car, but the 96 car, the Turner car, he's right there with the popcorn in his hands, just enjoying the movie, because those two are battling, and he's looking to maybe pick up the pieces. It's really, really close on track. I really hope the IMSA producers go to that battle, because it's incredibly close there between the top three. Fuoco is 9 seconds up in front, just absolutely chilling. Car number 43, driven by Garg. The Interpol car has entered into the pits. He was in second place, now into third. There's another little battle here, or I thought there was a bit of a battle here in LMP2. Nope, not at all. It's just the number 25 car going a little bit wide, but that's also the LMP2 going wide. Look at all these cars here. Lots of traffic here at Daytona as they go down the grid, but all clean so far between everyone. I think there's someone else, one of the other, it's either another BMW or maybe it's one of the other Acuras trying to get through that field. No, it's the other BMW. But, they're going through the second hairpin. That is risky. But I said this in the first stream, and I'll say it again in the second stream. They're the best drivers in the world for a damn reason. So they're not going to be making those kind of incidents at all, at least at all yet, as they're going up over the bankings. Now, DeResta in the 22 car is entering the pit. So the 99 AO car really able to extend its stint out in front. And that's probably exactly what that AO team is looking for up in front, because they've been pretty much dominant from the first, I think they took the lead within the first 3 laps.
Yeah.
And then after that, they have just been gone, just completely gone and controlling this race in LMP2. I did get corrected by someone in the chat. Rasmussen did drive for AL last year, so I do apologize. It's not his debut. It's his second year. So hopefully for the second time, he can try to go for broke and go for the win. We're seeing another little battle here in GTD, and it's between Jonah in the 57 and Snow in the 44 car. That skull livery, I love it oh so much. And that's Snow in the 44 car getting ahead and moving up into P7 in class. Lots of those cars are really, really close with each other. This is why I love GTD and GTD Pro so much, is because at all times, it doesn't matter what part of the track, and it doesn't matter if it's in first, middle of the pack, or in last, there will be cars fighting really close within each other. There's always going to be action in GT3 racing, and that's why, in my opinion, it's the best racing on the planet. It's even better than the top class stuff. But the stuff that we're seeing right now here, as we see the 59 car of D. McDonald, he was down 21 laps. He is down in 14th with an issue. The 9 car, 4 laps down. I don't remember seeing any issues in the live timing sheets, Jonah. Have you heard anything about that car going all the way down? Because they were leading at one point, but 4 laps down, they must have had a massive issue.
Yeah, that's news to me as well. I haven't heard anything from the FAF crew. I'll look and see what was going on with it. Usually Twitter has some answers on that sort of thing. Also, Ben Barker in the 64 Ford is also a lap down, but I believe that's due to pit stops. So I think the top 12 cars are kind of in the range of still winning this race. The Lamborghini is a little bit further down because of those 4 laps, but still not out of contention as well. We will see how that goes. We had a comment coming in from a while ago that says, also very impressed with the Acuras. Yes, very impressed with the Acuras as well. To be honest, I think I was the opposite situation as you, Nick. Nick, you said that the Cadillacs were a little bit of a surprising story for you in terms of their pace. For me, it was the Acuras. I was not expecting the pace that the Acuras shown because of the fact that the BOP had been really hit hard on them, and with the weight especially. But very surprising stuff from the Acura crew, and I gotta hand it to Meyershank Racing. They always deliver. Now, real quickly, one major factor that we have seen throughout this race, and we're seeing it right now on the screen as well, and if you're watching the race, you're seeing it too, is not the cars, not the track, but the weather. The fog has rolled in across the track in the night. Now, I can't remember the last time it was this much fog at Daytona. Now, remember, this is a track that's near the ocean. Of course, it's on the East Coast, so fog is inevitable, especially about this time of year as well. Also, we have a switch in position. What car is that? That's
Ricky Taylor and AJ Allmendinger have been in a good old P9 and P10 battle here. These guys are the last guys on the lead lap in GTP, but you can see just how foggy it is. You can barely see the cars. We could barely see them as they go into the bus stop, and I think that was AJ Allmendinger getting the job done on Ricky Taylor, moving up into 9th.
Yep.
Also, before you get back onto that statement, I just found out why the FAF went down. They had a brake issue about 2 hours ago, and that's why they've gone down the orders. So sadly, they were leading in GTP, but they are probably out of a good result.
Dang it. Well, that's good to know. Thank you so much for clarifying on that, because that's crucial information for everybody. The FAF car down the order now. Ooh, so we're seeing a close battle for two different classes, but still a fierce battle here right now. This is definitely intense. We'll see how that progresses. Oh, speaking of intensity or just something happening, our race leader in LMP2 is into the pits. Christian Rasmussen, for a current IndyCar driver, is into the pit lane in the AO racing car. He should exit in P2 with Kolovas in the Inter-Europal car taking over at the lead, but of course he still needs to pit. The battle for the win in LMP2 has mainly been between the 99, the 22 is somewhat in there, and DaCosta's 43 car. We also had the 04 CrowdStrike racing car somewhat in the mix as well, despite all the issues that they had. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to see how that goes. So as viewers, as you can see, viewers, on the middle of your screen here, besides me and Nick here, you have the live data for GTP, including the leader in LMP2, just had to sneak that in, and the track map as well. So make sure to keep up on that.
Keep up on that, guys. Keep on watching it, because that's the only way you guys are going to be able to watch it legally. Just kidding. I love you guys. But the thing is there's a lot of battling here, and now on track, Milner and Garcia just over a second in between each other. But these GTDs, I think these are GTDs at least, that are fighting here. No, that is a GTD Pro. That's that's Bronico in the 14 and Collado in the 033 car. And this is someone going slow. This
23, TRC.
One of the 23, and another tire has gone off. They might have to bring out they may or may not bring out the safety car for that. It's gone off the road, very importantly. But that's about the 4th or 5th tire that I've seen come off of a car. But that's a 023 TRC Competizione car. Into the pits he goes, but without a tire.
Perfect place to lose it, though, is you're right next to the pit lane. So it's like, it's okay. Thank goodness. So the 023 car, this is Robert McGuinness on board the 023 from TRC Competizione. And the tire came off. Not really sure exactly what happened with the 023. Maybe just a loose wheel, not really sure. But interesting to see. And it's yeah, so the 023 comes into the pit lane and will get that tire changed. Hopefully, they shouldn't lose too much time. I don't know where they are in class right now, but TRC doing okay. Their 033 entry is still running as well. It's the sole Ferrari still running after the devastating retirement of the Risi Competizione 296, which is also down the order.
It's already a lap down on GTD, and it was down in 15th place in GTD, so not really in the best result in the world, and now it's just going to go just that little extra down. Hopefully, there's not going to be too much damage to that rear right quarter panel as that explosion happened, but seems like they're pretty good as they're just doing their stop right now. So no problems there for the 23 as they're going to be getting back onto the lead lap with fresh tires, which is pretty good.
It is indeed. It is indeed. And I don't think there'll be any full course yellow as well, viewers, because that's why.
So that's what happened. He popped the tire in the turn 1, or either he popped the tire in the turn 1, or he just flat spotted it as he was getting in on transition. That's why turn 1. That's why I love it so much, but that's also why it's so difficult. I was talking about brake bias earlier before. That is an LMP1 facing the wrong way on the pit lane. That's the 11 car. Who are you, Mr. 11 car? I do know who you are. That is the TDS racing car that was having a lot of issues earlier today. It was involved in that lap 1 crash, and again, getting itself into more trouble, spinning around, probably a penalty for reversing well in the pit lane, or like going the wrong way in the pit lane. We'll see what happens there, but into the pits they go. And wow, yeah, that is just... That guy, he got out, he says, yeah, you can see him. He's not very happy. He just wants to get that stuff out of there and just get that stint done. So very frustrating end of stint for that TDS car as they look to hopefully make their way through the field after that little bit of a spin. But hey, the good news is they're getting some tire. They're just checking out the tires. Doesn't seem like there's any flat spots. Just get a fuel done and off they will be going very soon to go after that win.
And that driver as well is the Shopify founder as well, Toby Lutka, who had the
that is the Shopify founder. There's a lot of CEOs in the LMP2 class. They call it the CEO class for a reason, or the dentist class, or whatever you want.
True.
And most of the Canadians that are on here are CEOs or very, very high wealthy businessmen. As, hey, you got a lot of money, you got a lot of passion for racing, why not? I would do the exact same thing.
I mean, why not, right?
Like, why not? Like, you guys, like, people can give paid drivers all the things they want. Yeah, they're kind of ruining racing at the same time, but at the same time, if you're in that position, you're doing the same thing. So, like, you're going to go racing whether you like it or not. And that's what's going to happen. But as of right now, we're seeing some pretty big gaps out on track. We see McLaughlin, he's put about 2 seconds on the 96 car. So that's Robichon. As soon as we were talking good about the 27 car, down the order it goes into P4 again, losing some time, and now down down into P4 in GTD. Garcia in the number 3 Corvette under a second to Milner in the P4 car. So we could have a good little Corvette and Corvette action. And like I said, with the one car getting that stop in, it was 7 seconds behind the leader now, 2.2 seconds now. So it's going to be really close when we see a BMW and a Corvette on track. And what happened last year when that happened?
Oh, chaos.
Fireworks. So I can't wait for that to happen. Prelo in the 65 car, kind of coming up onto the back. He's around 3.8 seconds off of Milner in the 4 car. So hopefully it could be, we never know, it could be a 4-car battle here in GTD Pro. But up in front, the number 7 car Porsche, dominant as ever, 8 seconds in front of Campbell in second, who is 12 seconds in front of Pelot in third. So despite the energy and harvesting and everything, really moving down the order. But now, Bamber within 3 seconds of Pelot. So hopefully soon we'll be seeing them go into striking distance, and hopefully we'll see a move for that last podium spot in the top order. 343 car driven by Kolovos into Kolovos. I think that's how you pronounce it.
It's a confusing name. It's Yorius Kolovis.
Kolovis, that's so Greek.
Yeah,
it's either Greek or Eastern European. One of the other.
He's Greek.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, okay, perfect. It is Greek. So into the pits goes the other Interpol car, Rasmussen, 17.4 seconds in front, just comfortably ahead in the AO car. But hey, we're still not even halfway through the race, so there is a long way to go for that 99 car. But it's been pretty damn good for that car for just about 50% of the race. But as of right now, Harper, 1.7 seconds. So he's gaining around half a second a lap, I think. If I were to go look at the scoring sheets, it's looking really interesting. The fog is so thick.
So
I just
intense.
see the photos and of, I think it's it's just a standing camera screen. It's not panning or anything. That fog is intense. I know I'm most likely the spotters up at the top, they've taken their headphones off and they're just having a donut because they can't work. When you're having that much visibility, there's not really a lot you can do. Maybe you can watch them into the bus stop a little bit, maybe into turn 1, but that's it. There's not going to be a lot of those opportunities to help your guy out from top up there. So they're going to have to wait for the visibility to clear. But as of right now, I got to say, though, the cameras are making it look like it's not that bad. But as we all know, cameras don't do it justice.
Right.
Maybe it is just a little bit worse as we're on board with Lowenheimrich, first place in GTP. I'm looking at that gap. The Garcia's catching up to Milner, and that gap is 1.6 seconds. I'm going to see some fireworks, Jonah.
Come on, let's do it. I mean, it's got to happen at some point between Corvette and BMW. I mean,
right.
And this is the exact same cars that were in the fight last year. The 2 Corvettes and the Ford 65, in fact. All 4 cars. And yet they're in the top 4 positions once again. It just shows how competitive those 4 cars are. And it also shows how competitive those 4 manufacturers are as well. Heinrich has built up the gap to now 11 seconds to his teammate Campbell. Meanwhile, the closest battle besides that GTD Pro fight is the battle for 3rd position overall. Bamber is right on the back of Pelot. He is catching up to that Acura, and he is right there. But I mean, Nick, you mentioned it. I think this is exactly what I'm thinking as well. I'm thinking all about the spotters right now. This must be such a hard thing to do. And to be honest, this is what I could see as potentially being problematic as well. We will see how that goes.
No, 100%. And yeah, like I was saying just a little bit before, one of the biggest things that I noticed, those spotters, they're just taking a lunch break. There's not a lot that they can do because of that visibility. But the main thing, though, as you can see, all the way from, you can see just how much the fog is affecting with the fog lights. It's in the name for a reason. You can just see how much they're coming to play, as now the 3 car getting really close to that 4 car in the GTD Pro battle. Hopefully that will be spicing up soon. I'm really hoping for it to spice up soon because I want to see some Corvette BMW battles. As of right now, though, Di Resta pulling in on Rasmussen in second. That was a 21-second gap a few minutes ago. It's down to 16 seconds. So I'm not sure if Rasmussen made a mistake somewhere or did something of that matter. But the important thing is that gap's closing down. I am going to check the timing sheets because I do want to see what on earth happened in that last lap that caused that, because to lose that much time that quickly, that doesn't happen all too much. So I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't look like he was all too much slower, at least on the last lap. I'm not really sure. But yeah, just another still shot showing the fog lights to show just how thick the fog is. And
so thick.
I gotta wonder, and you can look it up, and one of us can look it up, if there's ever been a stoppage or delay for any of these Daytona 500s, because I'm willing to bet that fog has happened in the past. They've been racing here for 70 years now, so it's been just coming up to 60 years now, so it's been quite a while there's been 60 opportunities for it to happen. So I wonder if there's ever been some sort of issue where they had to maybe put the safety car out or do something when it comes to the fog. I really hope that they don't do something like that, but I wonder if there is some history on that.
You know, that's a good question. I from my knowledge, because I've been watching the Rolex 24 for a very long time, I don't remember seeing fog like this. Oh my goodness, I cannot speak. It's really late, as you can tell. Especially here in the nighttime hours at Daytona, I don't remember seeing this like this before in the past. I think you got to go all the way back to like maybe the 90s or 80s when we saw something like this. I'd like to see if anybody knows that information, like when did we see
please
this
share
much
it with
fog?
us. We would love to know.
Yeah, exactly. If we've seen this fog before in the past, or we've seen a stoppage like Nick mentioned just a moment ago at Daytona. I know it's happened in other tracks. You know, I think of the 24 Hours of Nürburgring. It happens all the time there.
100%.
Exactly. And so it's happened before, but I don't remember it happening at Daytona. I know it's common on tracks that are close to the West Coast. Close to the coast in general. I know Zandvoort gets a lot of it because it's on the coast of the Netherlands. Exactly. And then also Laguna Seca. I've been to Laguna Seca and it's like completely cloudy.
I've seen the fog there. I had a buddy of mine one then go out the track and he's like, well, there's not much to see because there's just so much fog. It's crazy how much fog you can see. I just looked it up and I got some answers to fog. 1989, 24 Hours of Daytona. The race was paused for 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
Due to fog. So they have paused the race due to fog. So that could happen. And in 2011, fog caused a delay so long that the pace car had to go in for a fuel stop. So,
wow.
It can happen. Fog can cause issues. It can cause safety car delays. Please don't happen here, guys. Please, God, if you can hear me, don't let this happen. But as of right now, it looks like the fog is just okay to keep them racing. And I don't think we've heard anything from race control about issues of that margin. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see about it. But there has been some history of fog causing delays here at Daytona.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So 2011 looks to be the last time there was a major stoppage at Daytona because of that. But it is definitely thick here. The fog, I think hopefully it won't get to that point. We will see as we see AO Racing building the Rexy Lego.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
They've been doing this the whole race. They said that they were trying to finish before midnight. That was the plan. I was in the Lego store a while ago and I was thinking I gotta go buy the Rexy Porsche at one point. And because it was so cool. So definitely go buy it. Not trying to promote it, but as a Lego fan, I highly recommend going to get the Rexy. Okay, viewers, while we've been talking about some awesome topics for sure, I want to mention that we've had some changes in the GTP category and a lot going on. Earl Bamber has moved into third officially ahead of the 93 Acura, so Cadillac are into third, and now that Cadillac is starting to chase down the number 6 Porsche of Matt Campbell. So finally, as predicted, Cadillac, that Whelen entry, might be able to challenge those Porsches up front. Campbell has lost considerable time, though, to Heinrich. Heinrich is absolutely dominating out there right now. 13.1 seconds. He's gained another 2 seconds on Campbell, and that Porsche is absolutely flying right now. Impressive stint from Heinrich. Impressive stints. He's had incredible stints throughout the race so far. But while all that's going on, another interesting fact is that Palou might lose fourth to Jordan Taylor in the 40 Cadillac. The number 40 car, as we've been talking, I've been kind of noticing on the tracker here of where the cars are on track. You can see in the middle of our screen here, viewers, that the 40 is starting to gain time on the 93. And interestingly, the 85 Porsche is also starting to gain on these front runners as well. So the 85 Porsche could join the fight in this battle. Further behind those guys comes the 2 BMWs, then the 60, and the 10, and then that 23 Valkyrie is way behind. But remember, this is the very first race for the Daytona entry. Of course, this is a car that's never competed at Daytona in the past. It's done a 24-hour race before, of course, Le Mans, but it has never done the 24 hours of Daytona. So considering that it also has some BOP effects, particularly on power, it is also had some problems, and it is the first race. So with all those factors in place, it's definitely turned out to be a difficult race for the Valkyrie for sure.
100%. And speaking of factors, when it comes to the GTP cars, I think we got to talk about strategy, because I just looked at the timing sheets. Heinrich and Campbell are running a second and a half faster than any other GTP on track. They're doing mid to low 37s, while everyone else on track, they're doing 39s. So they're really being comfortable there on the back end of the pits, as we see the 93 of Palou and the 40 of Jordan Taylor entering into the pit. So that's fourth and fifth, the Acura and the Cadillac respectively, going into the pits. But you can see, excuse me, God, this is going to be a burpee stream. I got to stop drinking that Pepsi. But the thing is that, oh God, someone's going to clip that. The thing is, as we see Eng in the 25 car moving up in the fourth, and then Thor moving up into fifth, the 25 car in the fourth, and the 24th car into fifth, but they are a full minute down on the rest of the field. But the thing is yeah, completely off the pace now. But I am looking, last lap though, Earl Bamber was around 2/10 off of Matt Campbell in second. So the 31 car picking up pace again, trying to really get it into the back end of that stint. As we see Heinrich, this is probably going to be his last lap before he has to go in. Same for Campbell as well, who's 13 seconds behind. So this is going to be the end of these guys for their stint, and a dominant stint at that. Looking in GTD Pro, Milner and Garcia really close again, half a second between the two. But Harper, he's been staying at around that 1.5 to 1.2 second gap for the last few laps, and has been pretty comfortable there. As the 65 car, Prelo, 2.9 seconds, so just a little bit there. Just a little bit slower there. But Fuoco also in the lead of GTD, entering into the pits. And now we got a really close battle between the 36 and the 96 of McLaughlin and Klingman. Yeah. So you know what? I have been sent multiple messages, and I've had a few people saying that I'm not listening to you. I don't know if you asked me a question or not, and I've just been so locked in on stuff. I don't know if that's happening, but I'm sorry if that's the case. I love you.
No. I don't even worry about it. I'm not even worried about it.
Did you ask me a question though?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. As the 6 car has entered the pits, and someone on fresh rubber has lost the wheel. Who is that?
Yeah. Oh, 93!
The 93 car! No! That's Ulta. That's Kaku in the 93 car. They just came in for a stop. They were in P4, and they lost the grid. So my pick to fight for the Porsches having the biggest issue of the night. And down the order they go. They have to go right back into the pits and do it all over again. That's another set completely gone and wasted. That is massive in the GTP fight.
Someone didn't put that wheel on, and Ota's got a long way to go back to the pits as well, because he's not even into the Le Mans chicane yet. This is not good news for Acura, as Heinrich and Bamber are into the pit lane from first and second position. This is not... Oh, wait, okay. The 93, it says it's stopped out on track.
Oh
on the pit
no, yeah.
on the stop on the timing screens. It says it's stopped, but oh wait, never mind. It's I think in the pit lane. I think
We'll have to wait and see.
the
The
graphic was
timing is a
confused.
little bit ahead of the YouTube session, so we'll
Yeah.
have to wait and see what happens to this 93 car. But right now, on our view, it is on the apron. Heinrich and Bamber Heinrich, Bamber, and Van Four. All four cars entering into the pits at the same time. So, but there was Campbell that went into the pits first. So Campbell's looking to undercut the 7 car, try to get ahead on track. Bamber, Ang, and Van Thor all coming in. They're going to be jumping that 93 car. That is the last thing you want to see.
Oh,
If you're look at that
what
GT3
was
coming
that?
in real hot in on that car. I think that's the Turner car.
That's the
That might be a
Turner car,
BMW.
yeah.
That is the Turner car. Just coming in hot on that inside. Klingerman, Robichon, and Andrews in second, third, and fourth, all entering the pits. McLaughlin going long on the GTD, in the GTD class. So lots of chaos here in this pit stops. And again, another stop for the 93. That is just not what you want to see. It's not what I want to see because I picked them to finish second, and they're not going to finish second at this rate with the blown tire coming off.
A new front as well for the Acura. So this is not good news for the 93 car at all. Kako Shinoda is going to go back out on track, but he's going to exit in P10 behind the entire GTP grid, except the Valkyrie, of course. But this is not good news for Acura. Also, another car that had an issue was the 85 Porsche. Something happened with that car because it is now behind the BMWs and a long way back from the Cadillac as well. Something happened in the pits. So I'm not really sure. But yeah, this is drama for Acura, drama for the 85 specifically. And yeah, just heartbreak for Kako Shinoda. This was the car that was in the fight for the win with the Porsches, and now it is truly a Porsche versus Cadillac fight at the front. But the gap between Heinrich and Campbell is 28 seconds, where Bamber is another 10 seconds behind. However, the good news in this fight is that Bamber has closed the gap. We see what happened to the Acura
coming off
right on the pits.
Off into the first hairpin. That is unbelievable. That pit crewman is going to get a stern talking to. Something else I do want to mention, though, is that massive gap that we now see up front between the two Porsches. I thought that 6 car maybe was going to go for an undercut. It lost about 15 seconds in the pit lane. So no undercut whatsoever. Yeah, you can see the tire just fully off, just not put on properly at all. Wow, that's such a shame for the 93 car, as it's now getting back up to grits in the race, but 2 laps down, and will be joined. They're on the same lap as that 85. So the 85 car, along with the 93 car, both 2 laps down in GTP. There are a few cars that are a lap down right now as well. That's AJ Allmendinger and Ricky Taylor as well. They're just a lap down at the moment. Or, sorry, not anymore. Ricky Taylor is still the only one that's a lap down. Van der Helm is only down 1 lap, but Kaku is now down 2 laps. So he's got a lot of time to try to make that distance up in the 93. We've seen it have pace. Hopefully, there's a little bit of lady luck on the side of the Acura going in to the back half of this race, because we're still not halfway to go. We still got half an hour until we're not even at half an hour until we're an hour and 37 minutes until we're halfway, because we're at 13 hours, 36 minutes and 50 seconds remaining.
Oh, here's the drama.
Look what we have here. Is that a BMW and a Corvette battling on track?
Yes,
it is.
Oh, and the Ford.
Right behind it, the Mustang getting on the back of the BMW. I bet you that BMW was so hungry trying to look at that Corvette, completely forgot about the Mustang right behind. And we've been seeing how fast that Mustang's been, as we're seeing a bit of a wheel to wheel. This is a battle. I think that's in GTD. I think that's a Mustang, and I think that's the 13 Corvette. That's a battle in GTD right now. It is between Kern and Jonte in GTD, and right behind in GTD Pro, there's another battle on. So lots of action here in the GT3 category, as it's getting spicy here at Daytona. I'm getting so excited, Jonah.
Same.
I know the kettle's gonna start boiling, and it's probably gonna overblow pretty soon. But as of right now, it's all clean so far from the GT3 drivers, but not for long. Hopefully, we'll see.
This is going to be crazy, and we haven't reached the halfway mark either, viewers, of the Rolex 24 at Daytona. This is a 4-car battle for the GTD Pro lead between the 2 top Corvettes, the BMW and the first of the Ford Mustangs in GTD Pro. But this is going to be interesting because, for me, I'm waiting until there's that big crash. Last year, I think, Nick, if you remember this, viewers, if you remember this, we had that crazy multi-car incident at turn 1 when I think it was Louis Delatraz spun and caused that massive wreck in the night. That's happened. That's consistently happened in the past, and I can see something like that happening in the future as well. Replay with the 70.
Getting spun by a fellow 296 as they were going wheel to wheel into the second hairpin. That's not how you do that, my friend. And down the order he goes, losing a little bit of time there in the 70 car. I'm concerned about where Mr. 70 car is in that fight.
This was the
GTD
45th overall. The Inception car was currently in 12th in class.
Yeah, they're 12th in class, pretty far away from the 21 car that just completed the lap on the timing board. So a long way down the 70 car. Because, I think it was fighting that 21 Ferrari in GTD and just wasn't able to hold on to it.
True.
And now we see Kern in the 13 car, the Canadian Corvette, entering into the pits from second. McLaughlin, however, still out in front. I don't know what kind of strategy he's on. He must have been on a very different strategy from the 3 other GTDs that we were seeing fighting in that pack, as along with Fuoco, the Turner car, and the Heart of Racing Aston Martin. So I'm really curious to see what's going on. I need the producers to look on the GTD Pro because the top 4 are within a second of each other. Oh, man, it's going to start happening real soon here in GTD Pro. That crash you're talking about, it could be them. You never know.
It could be.
So we'll have to wait and see. But I will say, though, Campbell bringing that gap down to 6 seconds. That's Alvarez entering into the pits. That's the Tower car entering in from P4.
This is a positive story as well. Sorry to interrupt you there, but just to point out as well with the LMP2 car, this is an entry that it won the race and then had that crazy disqualification from P1 in last year's race. They're on a redemption arc here to try and get this win, and they're in the hunt for it. So this is a positive story for sure.
No, 100%. And it's a story I would really like to see played out. And what a lineup that is of John Ferrano, Sebastian Bourdais, Kiffin Simpson, who is also an IndyCar, and Sebastian Alvarez. Right. That is a really, really solid lineup for an LMP2 team. But as of right now, I think the producers just love this Tower car, but there's 4 cars in the fight for GTD Pro just fighting. I'm screaming at this producer. God, please change the channel. I want to see the carnage. I do not want to see a cut to the BMW like barrel rolling through the grass in the back. Wait, there's no more grass in the back straight, but barrel rolling on the concrete through the back straight. I don't want to see that. I want to see that happen live. I want to see a great little battle, but we'll have to wait and see. Look at that. The 23 Aston Martin Valkyrie looking alive. And now we're actually seeing a little bit of this battle as we see the 23 car going past a few of the cars. And you can see that BMW just a little bit far away from the 2 Corvettes. So that battle for GTD Pro is going to be stopped a little bit for now because that gap is just a little bit too big between the BMW and the Corvette as the Heart of Racing 23 Valkyrie moves on through. Still very much down the way on the lead, 17 laps on the lead, down on the lead to be exact. So
right,
I am very curious to see if at the bare minimum they can finish in front of all of the LMP2s. I think that's the goal now, and I'm curious to see how close of a goal that is because he's still 17 laps down, and the next he's 6 laps down on Christian Rasmussen in the LMP2. So 6 laps, 13 and a half hours. Do you think he can pass the leader 6 times? That doesn't sound impossible with a car that's consistently around 8 seconds a lap faster. That doesn't sound impossible. And now the pit war is on. The GTD pros entering into the pits. That's the 65 car Prelo entering in, and that's the 4 car also entering in. Garcia and Harper, the 3 and the 1 car, out on track and within 0.3 of each other. Let's see which car leaves the pit lane first. The lights of the Corvette goes on first, and out goes the Corvette first. And just barely behind goes the Mustang. He's squealing out as he gets the car out. We see the FAF car also in the pits as well. So plenty of cars in that fight coming out. And the 65 and the 4 Corvette are going to go to war on cold tires at night in the fog here at Daytona.
Sounds like a party to me.
Intrigued, though. Sorry?
I just said, sounds like a party to me.
It sounds like a party. Yeah, right. It sounds like a party to me, too. And it's a party I'm very excited to see. Collado in the 033 car also entering into the pits. It is such a long pit limiter, these guys. I know that 65 car is just waiting. And you know what? He hates this part when they go because that gap builds just a little bit, or does it? No, he's actually right on the back bumper of that 4 car. He might try to go for the overtake immediately out it. And down the inside he goes on cold tires.
All right.
Wow, I could not believe the balls of that man to go for the move. Or does he? I think he got the move done. Yes, he does. Yep. On cold tires, immediately out into the hairpin. The 65 car gets past Veron in the 4 car. Wow, that's a great overtake from the Mustang. Or as I thought it was the Corvette going around the outside. That's not the Corvette. It's a GM branded car, but it's not a Chevy. It's a Cadillac going around the outside. But that, most importantly, I think that's got to be 2nd and 3rd on track, passing each other.
Yeah.
Or sorry, not on track, not 2nd and 3rd, but in the pit
class
order. I think they're 2nd and 3rd as the Grello car entering into the pits, the AO car as well. So the 2 main Porsches entered, into the pits in GTD Pro.
Here comes
and
Rexy.
A little bit of body work checking out. They're removing that front bumper and the
fascinating.
nice teeth on the AL cars. They're getting the other one on, and they're doing a rear tire swap as well while they're at it. But yeah, very importantly, out of the pits on cold tires, the 65 car getting the jump on the Corvette.
Yeah, that was an impressive move from the Ford Mustang and the driver on board, Sebastian Priaulx. And what he just did is exactly why Ford picked him to be in the hypercar lineup in 2027 in the WEC. He's going to be alongside Logan Sargent and Mike Rockenfeller in that hypercar in the WEC as one of the 6 drivers in that lineup. So very impressive stuff from Priaulx as the endurance driver in the Mustang. As Rexy comes out of the pits, so does Feller in the Manti car as well. So the 2 entries out on track. And then it's going to be interesting to see once Garcia and Harper come in as well. Where did they come out? Did the undercut work so well for the other runners? But as we're looking at this leaderboard graphic, viewers, on the live stream from IMSA, the blur around it, that's what I want to mention. The fog is absolutely incredible. You can't see the
cars. You can't see them. It's insane. They were trying to do it because where the cameras are, they're at the very top of the grandstands at the tri-oval, and they're trying to zoom into the infield, but you can see the headlights, but you can barely pick out the cars. Maybe you can see what the Porsche looks like. Those headlights are pretty familiar, but apart from that, good luck figuring out what those cars are. So the camera operators, the producers, they're not happy with the fog, but what can you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Nothing at all, as the gaps are coming alive here at Daytona. We see the Turner car going up the inside of the 14 Lexus. That's a fun little battle. Or I thought that was a fun little battle in GTD, but nope, that's the GTD Pro Lexus getting passed by the Turner car. I also saw when the Porsches came out, both the AO car and the Grello, I never saw the Mustang get past them. We'll have to wait and see if they did. They did, actually. So Priaulx and Veron were able to get past of Guven and King. That's Guven, the DTM champion, in that Manti car. So great to see him driving in there. But yeah, for a moment, I thought, I was like, did the Porsches just undercut the Ford and the Corvette? There's no way, right? But no, they did not. The Priaulx and Veron moving back up in the 3rd and 4th. I've had a few people talking about Prelo about if he did deserve that 4 drive
Oh yeah.
for the hypercar. He just showed one of the reasons why he did. Going out on cold tires into a hairpin, that's ballsy. It takes a lot of steel down there to get that move done. And yeah, he completely threw off it on with that overtake. Wasn't expecting it. Garcia now entering into the pits, but most importantly, not Harper. So the BMW again, I saw it last time out with the Sin, going long in the M4. So we'll have to see how that plays out with the pack. We saw with the GTPs, going long wasn't a good strategy call. The 6 car lost about 15 seconds from Heinrich up in front. So we'll see if in GTD that will make up, if that will be any difference with the pace being very different from GTP. Of course, out the GTD, it's only a 10-second pace gap. So we'll have to see if that overcut actually works, because yeah, we've seen in other classes not really not working, but it could work here. We're going to see very, very soon. But also, I must mention is that Verona is still right on the back of Prelo. They're only about a second between the two of them. Verona actually getting the overtake on Prelo, so that's Verona moving up in the third. So that
Garcia's
Corvette
behind,
showing it to be very, very racy as Garcia entering into pits, and is going to be behind those two right now.
Yep, it shows on the tracker, which is a little bit ahead of this live stream, that the 3 is behind the 65 and the 4, as it shows. Oh, actually, never mind. It's just teleported. All right, that's nice. Of course, the track. But the 3 is just ahead of the 4, like just ahead. On the timing graph, it shows the 3, the 4, and the 65 are like right there. And we have to remember as well that the 65 and the 4 are on warmer tires as well. I could see Corvette trying to get the 4 ahead of the 3 and having Garcia defend against Prio to try and keep that 4 ahead and try and reach the 1 as well, because they have to remember that Harper is still going to come into the pit lane, and it's not just a Ford versus Corvette battle. That BMW is right in the hunt.
Yeah, no, 100%. And someone was just asking in the chat about the chances for a BMW GTP win, and I just replied, cooked. As of right now, they're a full minute under the Porsches. They've been really, really unlucky. Of course, with the reel I posted, that 24 car spinning around in the first lap. It's just not been the day of days for the BMW. I thought that maybe, just maybe, they would show something, but as of right now, nothing at all. The United Autosports car and the Interpol car, the 22 with DeResta and the 43 with DaCosta. I like that little play on words there. Entering into the pits in LMP2. They're actually, those 3 cars are the only cars on the lead lap. Rasmussen has been flying in LMP2. Only 3 cars on the lead lap now. And yeah, everyone else, good luck trying to get back onto that lead lap, because yeah, you're very, very far off it now. Ota in the 93 car, he was 2 laps down. Now he's down 1 lap. So he will be hopefully trying to catch up onto the back of Van der Helm, maybe making a bit of a fight in P9. And yeah, still not a lot of cars, no cars in GTP, relatively close. The closest cars on track is Allmendinger and Ricky Taylor, 3 seconds apiece between them in 7th and 8th, but they're 85 and 88 seconds apiece behind. We just have to, and yeah, just like the guy in the chat says, we gotta cope a lot until the sunrise comes if you want to see any chance of a BMW win. And I gotta be honest, speaking of the BMW, into the pits goes Harper from the lead of GTD Pro. He went really long. He's got 86 seconds on Verona in second, and we'll have to see where he comes out. This is going to be a mega stop for BMW if they can pull this off and get into the lead here, if they can hold them off, because they were second in class for the most part. If they can get that jump on the 4 car, wow, it's going to be big. I will say, though, with that fight between the 65 car, that might be exactly what the BMW has been looking for, because they definitely slow down. We know, guys, from racing, when you race wheel to wheel, it's just slower. It just is. And you can lose easily up to 1, 2, even 3 seconds at a time if you really don't know how to get it. And off goes the BMW out of the pits. And we'll have to wait and see where they're going to come in on the gap. It is going to be so close coming out. Hopefully, we're going to see the cars as the camera goes wide. Will we see the Corvettes coming in our screens anytime soon? The tension is killing me. We'll have to wait but it doesn't look. He's still in the lead.
That's
That
a
is a
Lambo.
296. That's a LMP2. There's no way he's gotten this overcut done, right?
I mean, it's possible. I
It's
think
very,
that
yeah, with them
Garcia came out
battling, it's
ahead.
very possible.
The thing
I
is
still
that
don't see them in the camera.
I
And
think
out
the
on the
one
pit
got ahead.
limiter, 30 seconds?
No. That hasn't updated yet because I'm looking on the
Okay, I was gonna say no way he gained 30 seconds on that stop. That is the greatest stop in the world.
So
if that's exactly what he got. But Harper still in the lead. He got the overcut done. The overcut working in the GT3 class. It didn't work with the faster cars in GTP, but it certainly did here in GTD. And into the lead goes Harper in the one car.
just about though, because the 4 is right behind the 1. As the BMW is, remember viewers, it's on colder tires. It's on cool. It just came in for its stop. So the 4,
there he is.
Yep, the 4 is right there, and then the 65 and 3 are right behind as well. There's the 4 right in the mix there, and trying to chase after the number 1 BMW for the overall lead. Remember, viewers, these were the 2 cars, the exact same cars that were in that drama that happened last year with Tommy Milner and the middle finger drama, as we call it. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting fight for sure. We will see how this progresses. Oh, whoa.
Oh my goodness, that was a massive shove from, I think that's the GTD Corvette in the battle with the Faf Huracan,
Yeah,
almost shoving him completely off the track. That was so close, but just barely, just this close. That maybe a little bit less, but that could have been a mega crash into the second hairpin. We almost just saw what could have been another full course yellow, but wow, all clean so far. Da Costa pit equipment placement drive-through penalty for the 43 car. So now 2 cars are on the lead lap in LMP2.
Just
Christian
2.
Rasmussen has lapped everyone but 1 car. If that's not domination, I don't know what is. And there's still not even halfway through. That AO car is just light years ahead. Oh so close. I love this 57, but this is a battle in 6th place. Show me the lead in GTD. They're super close between the BMW and the Corvette. That's the battle we want to see, guys. As
under
the
second.
Ford and Kirchhoffer in the 3 car, 1.5 seconds off. So we're going to see a 4-way battle here for a long while in the GTD Pro.
And we have also we're just about reaching the halfway mark as well of this race. I believe we are over midnight in this event, so definitely into the nighttime stage, the calmer stage, as some people call it. However, I am waiting for that carnage to happen. You know that there's going to be a full course yellow soon, and it just depends on when. I'm just waiting on the edge of my seat.
And you can just see how close we were. We just saw a replay of it. That FAF car had to slam on the brakes to avoid an incident. So they're getting so close here as Rasmussen in the 99 car and leading an LMP2, a comfortable lead at that, and will be entering the pits with, my guess is probably a 10-second cushion on DeResta in the 22 car. Just so much ahead on that leading stint. It's got to be so frustrating for the 22 and 43 car to have to deal with it. Da Costa not down on the lead lap though, most importantly. So still 3 cars on the lead lap in LMP2. Rasmussen still having to do a little bit more if he wants to get all those cars. Rasmussen has been in that car for a long time. Now there goes Da Costa into the pit, so he will be lapping him pretty soon. But they are doing a driver stop, so that's Rasmussen out, and look at that, the 3 car just cutting it in on the inside on the 65 car. So another little battle here in GTD as Verón and Priolo going wheel to wheel. Sorry, that was Kirchhoffer and Priolo going wheel to wheel. So that Mustang we thought was showing a lot of pace straight out the guns. It was all for nothing because it's immediately dropped down to the 2 Corvettes. So now there's 2 Corvettes looking to go after a BMW in front in GTD Pro. Oh man, here we go. It's coming now because there's the Miller car. Hey, there's not another car there that saved you guys this time. There's just one on your own. It's a 2-on-1, and these Corvettes are gonna gang up on this BMW. This poor little M4. Can't wait to see it.
It would be nice to see a second M4 as well in GT Pro, the 48 BMW that used to be here from Paul Miller. Unfortunately, they don't have that car anymore. It'd be nice to have a second car. There was rumors that it was going to be, what was that team? Random Vandals Racing. That was going to be the second BMW in the GTD Pro category. That didn't work out. There's rumors that that car could come for Petite Le Mans and for 2027. But we'll see how that goes. It's going to be very interesting. While the fight in GTD Pro has happened, we've had a switch in the driver lineup in LMP2. Rasmussen has done his stint. He is done. And now Cameron has got in. And now we were talking about how AO Racing has been dominating this thing. They do have some competition, as the gap between first and second is just 5 seconds now, as it is now DiResta that has closed the gap to Cameron in the LMP2 field. While that battle is happening, another fascinating development is happening in GTP, and that is the battle for second overall, as the number 6 Porsche is now almost 21 seconds to Heinrich. Heinrich
is
losing
some time.
He's been losing some
He's
time.
losing a lot of time there.
And look at Bamber. Bamber is now just under 5 seconds to the number 6 Porsche. Oh, as we see a car going off the track. That is the number 2 United Autosports car.
That car not in contention at all. It's
Nope.
a 22 car that's in contention, so not a little spin for them there. And back out they go racing. I'm glad you were good. You're talking about the 6 car coming off the pace, because this has been in the last like 5 laps. It was 13 seconds, and now they've lost 8 seconds. So I'm not sure if they're saving and he's losing quite a bit of time on these last few laps, just cushioning that gap, or there's some sort of problem in that 6. Because reminder, we talked about it at the beginning of this broadcast. There is some irreparable damage to the floor on that 6 car. And we don't know the state and condition of if that's going to get worse. We've been seeing it, though, through the pace of the car, that it's not been really affecting it all too much. But that doesn't mean that it could get worse as the stint goes on. That car is 356 laps in on that stint. There's absolutely a little bit more damage to it. We'll have to see what's happening to that 6 car going later into the stint. DiResta, now that gap was 4 seconds, as we were talking about it, Jonah. Now it's down to 2.6. So as the 22 car is already on fresh tires, catching up to the car that's on cold tires, you can see just how much you lose when you get on those cold tires. There's no tire warm-ups in this series, lads. Nothing at all. So you lose a lot of time on that opening stint, getting the tires up. Lost about 2 seconds, but we'll have to see. And reminder, 2 very different strategies. We saw how long and how much longer that AO car went into the stop compared to all the other LMP2s. They went probably about 10 laps longer, maybe even 12. So we'll have to wait and see what happens within that battle. But although they might be racing on track, in reality, they're running 2 completely different races with 2 completely different strategies.
Agreed. And I mean, it's definitely a completely different game that they're playing for sure. And I think we're going to see that evolve as the race progresses, especially in these stints. So we'll see how that goes. Quickly, I want to mention, actually a couple things I want to mention. First off, even though this is a very late stream in the night, we still have so many viewers here. We've just reached over 100 live viewers, which is wonderful to see. Yeah. Thank you all so much for this.
Guys. And thank you.
And it's interesting too, because like, this is not what I expected. I expected, usually in the night we get like, I don't know, 20 viewers or something like that because of the different time zones. But this just shows how many endurance fans have stayed up late. If you're in Europe, if you're in Japan, if you're in the East Coast or whatever of the US, etc. That is what's so beautiful about all this, is that it's just so many different fans coming together for one motor race to enjoy just pure endurance racing action. And that's exactly what we're doing here right now. Speaking of which, because there are so many people watching right now, I wanted to answer a couple of questions, one of which is very interesting. Coming from Smokey Bear, like the name by the way, who says, "Hey guys, I was wondering if Connor Zilic or AJ Allmendinger has been on track. Thanks for the stream." Thank you for watching. And to answer your question, yes, both drivers have been out on track. AJ Allmendinger has had, from what I can understand, 2 stints in the number 60 Acura. He's been doing very well. I believe I think he's actually in the car right now, in the number 60 car. And then as for Zilic, he's had 1 stint, but he mentioned in an interview with NBC Sports that he will have another stint in the night, but that will be his last one in that Cadillac for this year's Rolex. So we will see how that progresses. yeah, I don't think there's anything more I wanted to say, so I'll hand it.
No,
hand it back
it's
over
all
to you.
good. But no, you know something? I was looking at his interview bits, and I was talking about it in the cast that if I was 18-year-old Connor Zilic and I saw DTM legend Rene Rast getting right on my back bumper, I would be losing myself.
Yeah.
And he said in that interview, he said his BPM was like 180 the whole race, or during that whole stint. He was tense. So I was right on that. And he did a really, really good job. He's really showing why he's one of the top, if not the top, young talents in the world of motorsports right now. And it's going to be really awesome with them doing their Trackhouse debut in NASCAR. I can't wait to see him at the 500 next month here at the Daytona Motors Speedway. So, yeah, it's going to be really exciting. AJ Allmendinger, he's been a mixed bag, I got to be honest. He had a few okay stints in the 60 car. He was losing a few positions due to the other guys, but for the job that he's supposed to do, he's not meant to be the guy in that team. He's one of the slower drivers, and honestly, I think he's filling that role really well, and he's been keeping the car out of trouble. So it's been a pretty good stint for our two NASCAR drivers, and there's probably a plenty of NASCAR fans, as are we. So, yeah, big ups on them for doing a really good job. I would love for more NASCAR guys to come in and do this stuff, with the advent of more road course racing and that coming into NASCAR and that being a lot more prevalent. You're going to see a lot more. I hope that we see a lot more NASCAR guys coming in and wanting to do these one-off events. I know we've seen Larson come in a few times. AJ Allmendinger, this is not his first 24 hours in the slightest.
No.
He's and it's been a theme for NASCAR drivers to do it. Most famously, the Dales, senior and junior in the C5R in 2001.
Right.
But I would love to see NASCAR guys getting a lot more involved because I just think it's going to grow IMSA a lot better. And hey, who owns IMSA?
NASCAR itself. Yep, that's true.
So that something could get work with there, and maybe you never know. I could throw this out there, but you never think that IMSA might do a Garage 56 kind of thing for Daytona, and you never know. We might see the Rick Hendrick car here at Daytona where it belongs, in my opinion. So we'll have to wait and see on that.
Now that would be cool. I'd like to see that.
Really
the 56, the Garage 56 car, it deserves one more appearance. It doesn't have to be at Le Mans. Bring it here to Daytona. Bring it to the place where NASCAR is most famous for. We'll see. And yeah, I echo your statement there, Nick, as well, with the drivers, coming over from NASCAR. I think it would be good to see more. It really would be good to see more NASCAR drivers on the grid. Someone I would like to see on the grid from the NASCAR world. I don't watch a lot of NASCAR races, by the way, viewers, but I would love to see Ross Chastain here at the Rolex.
Yeah, that would be good.
The guy in the number 1 NASCAR entry. I'd like to see him here. I really would like to see him here. Maybe even Denny as well. That would be interesting.
Traffic here on track. Sorry, I just
it's okay.
distracted. It just switched over, and I just saw 8 cars all on track. Lots of traffic here in the inside. It's busy here at the night. Always got to be on your tippy toes. But go ahead, Jonah.
No, it's all good. It's all good, and we'll continue to see this action progress. And I think that I'm still waiting for that crazy yellow flag that we're gonna get, which is inevitable. I mean, we still haven't reached the halfway mark of this race. We still have another hour until the halfway mark, and we'll probably end the stream after we get to the halfway mark because it's gonna be almost midnight here. We'll see how that goes. Also, Lauren Heinrich, 24 seconds to Campbell. This guy, he's proving exactly why Porsche put him in the factory cars. Very, very impressive stint that he's been doing. He's done 2 stints so far in the 7 car. This is his 2nd stint, and he is absolutely blowing away the rest of the field. I'm assuming that we're going to see some GTP pit stops very soon as well. It's going to be very, very fascinating indeed. Something I also want to point out, I keep thinking I should mention this. And I haven't gotten an opportunity until this moment to remember, as we also see a very close battle in the LMP2 field. JDC Miller Motorsports. What happened with the 85 Porsche, viewers? If anybody knows that information, that 85 car was right on the back of the 40 Cadillac in that P5 range. Now it is all the way back in 9th and has lost almost an entire lap to the 40 car. I think it had something in the pits. Something happened to the banana boat, the car that's on the left-hand side of your screen, by the way, on our stream. I think that it still can recover from what's going on, but Vanderhelm currently on board that car. Something happened. It is a lap behind the 7 Porsche, which was battling, by the way, earlier on in this race. So something definitely happened. And even NBC Sports panned over to, or IMSA panned over to the JDC Miller car when it was in the pits. Something was going on. The crew were working on something. We just don't know what. So I just want to put that out there. If anybody knows the answer to the JDC Miller issue or whatever happened, let me know.
Yeah, please let me know, because I just tried to do a quick search on Twitter and through other stuff, and I haven't really been able to find an answer. No one's really posted any updates. I will check my best friends over at motorsport.com, because they have some live timings going on there. So we'll see. I'm going to just do some driving or just looking down and see what has happened to that car. But until then, you can keep on going.
Yeah, I'm looking as well to see if what's happened to the JDC Miller car, but I haven't seen anything. It was a while ago. Also, guys, just to point out as well, while the LMP2 battle gets pretty intense, the GTP BMWs are actually starting to do a little bit better. They're in P5 and P6 right now. Vantor ahead of Ain, former teammates, of course. Obviously, this is not BMW's race, but they are performing better than the Acuras. The Acuras have both had problems. And the BMWs are doing quite well. The 24 is actually getting very close to the 40 Cadillac. It is chasing down that entry for P4 actually. So Dries Vanthoor is still in the hunt, and same with Philippine as well in the 25, who is just behind as well. So we will see how that goes. But as Lauren Heinrich continues to lead by 22.7 seconds, Earl Bamber has closed the gap as well in the 6 Porsche as that battle continues to rage on. Meanwhile, in LMP2, Cameron versus DeResta for the lead in the LMP2 class, while Alvarez in the 8 Tower Motorsports car is a further couple of seconds behind.
You know, I was looking to try to find an answer on motorsport.com, but my laptop crashed, so I will be able to figure that one out anytime soon.
I can't find anything.
I'm going to have to leave it to the viewers to try to figure it out, because the laptop is crashing. It's probably the government trying to tell me, you do not want to know what happened to the banana boat. You do not want to know.
No,
so,
you do not.
Yeah, I haven't really been able to find any answers on that so far, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Hopefully we'll get some sort of update, but as of right now, unclear as to why Mr. 85 Banana Boat all the way down the order. We'll have to wait and see on that for now. DeResta and Cameron, they were about 6 tenths between each other. Now it's grown to about 1.1 seconds. So, yeah, like I said, although that battle is kind of raining on an LMP2, they're on completely different strategies. But I will say DeResta trying to make it a little bit interesting. It's really good to see him still racing. I know a lot of people were giving him crap for being a mid-racer and doing some commentators boost, but if you're in the F1 and was a point-scoring threat for multiple years, you automatically almost guarantee a racing career for life. And that's exactly what has happened with Paul DeResta. And he's been racing in GTD, GTD Pro, LMP2. He's been constantly doing that, and it's really awesome to see the good old Irishman up there still racing at that top level. In GTD Pro, Harper still in the lead, 1 second in front of Veron in second. Chris Hoffer, about 2.5 seconds between the two of those. And so we'll have to wait and see what happens between them. Priolo, importantly, has been passed by Guven in the Manthai. So that 65 Mustang was doing so good on the start, but has fallen off a cliff in the first part of the stint. I wonder what happened to that Mustang. Maybe, just maybe, by pushing it a little bit too hard on that opening lap, he might have ruined the tires a little bit. You never know, because I was talking earlier about how sensitive the core of those tires are and how easy it is when they're soft and they haven't been brought up to temperature, how easy it is to rupture that core. And that could have very well happened to Priolo in the 65 car, and now he's just managing from there. But look at the fall. You can barely see ahead. I would not be surprised if they throw a weather caution within the next half an hour if it still keeps on getting worse, because the visibility is starting to get really bad here. You can barely see halfway up through the oval, just barely. Like, you can see about 20, 25 car lengths in front, but that's just about it. After that, it's pretty clear coast. So It's looking okay for some racing right now. I would hope we don't have a weather caution. We've had it happen twice here at Daytona in 1989. They paused the race for 4 hours, 4-hour delay due to the fog. I saw someone in the comments where they were talking about racing in California due to the fog. They understand exactly how that happens.
Oh yeah.
Also in 2011, there was a long question. Here comes the number 23 car, the 296 into the pits. That car has had a lot gone on. Well, all the 296s, they've had a lot of stuff going on, and it's good to see that they're doing this. I thought they were doing a driver swap. No, they are not. But it is good to see that, yeah, they're all good and getting the tire. Yeah, they're doing a bit of a tire stop. Hopefully, they'll be coming out pretty soon now. But as of right now, wow, you can start to see that Bamber and Campbell within 2 seconds of each other. So we'll see that if the Cadillac and the Porsche are going to start to go wheel to wheel for second place on track. And we'll hopefully see if Bamber is going to get closer and closer to Heinrich up in front. But as of right now, a 20-second gap, that's going to stay at least into the next stint. We're going to have to wait. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I think that real quickly, we just need Bamber to get ahead of Campbell to try and have Cadillac somewhat challenge Porsche for this win. Because right now, Campbell is doing an excellent job of defending against the Cadillac and keeping that Cadillac at bay. Also, I'm very, very curious about the fight for P4 as well between the 40 and the BMW, the 24 car that is. That's Jordan Taylor versus Dries Vanthoor. Very interested to find out what's going on. The number 7 Porsche is chasing down, what is that? Is lapping the 60 Acura of AJ Allmendinger as they go past the Manti Porsche. So the 7 is absolutely flying. So Lauren Heinrich currently is just going at it right now. He's dropped a little bit behind Campbell, like a few tenths of a second, but still he's pretty good. He's completed 366 laps, so he's absolutely flying right now. But yeah, this is absolutely amazing stuff from everybody here. I believe as well that he's also lapped the JDC Miller Porsche and the number 93 Acura as well. So they are further 2 laps behind as things stand. Wait for Bamber to get past Campbell. He's right on the back of that Porsche. I'm interested to see if they can kind of go over to that. I think that could be the closest battle on track right now in terms of these top 5 positions. Yeah, everything's kind of spread out right now. And like I said, I'm just waiting for that yellow flag to come out, because once we have a major incident, the full course yellow is going to bridge everything together, and it's going to completely change absolutely everything. And with this fog here as well, this makes life a heck of a lot more crazy as well.
The fog is easily the worst coming out of NASCAR 2 and going into the back straight. It is so bad through there. Pretty much everywhere else on track, it's pretty good, but it's just that one section of track. It's not a lot of visibility there. So I bet you the stewards are monitoring that situation right now, and we'll have to wait and see if they make that call. But I got to be honest, Jonah, we've been talking too much about the yellow flag. I think we're jinxing that dog. The commentator's curse is coming out, and it's not happening, as we're now coming up to 57 minutes before the halfway into this race. Heinrich still up in front, 20 seconds up in front of Campbell. So he is losing a little bit of time out to Campbell, but he's got such a big gap. He doesn't have to worry about losing a few seconds here on his stops. Hopefully we'll see the energy come up on the IMSA screen, and we'll know when they have to go into the pits, but they're pretty comfortable into this stop. I think they're probably about halfway into their stint right now, maybe about a third into their stint. You never know. But we'll have to wait and see. But now, Campbell and Bamber, within 0.2 of a second within each other, we'll probably see that 31 car going ahead of the 6 car as they get into some sort of corner. We'll have to wait and see. But Jordan Taylor, Dries Vanthoor, 3 seconds between each other in 4th and 5th. Not a lot here, as there we go. The 31 car, Errol Bamber, up into 2nd place. Gets the job done on the 6 car. So that 6 car has been really cautious this stint, just mitigating any sort of damage, or probably just saving the car for the long run, and has now lost out to Bamber, as Bamber now is up into 2nd place. Again, though, we are seeing a little bit of battles coming out on track. The rest of within a second to Cameron in that battle in LMP2, 8/10 between them. Maybe we'll see some fighting there. Veron within half a second of Harper. So that Corvette versus BMW battle that we've been talking about, it's getting a little bit closer, but it's just between those two, as Christopher is completely nowhere. He's 4.6 seconds adrift from those two. So it's a 2-horse battle in the front of GTD Pro. And in GTD, Eastwood in the 36 car still controlling it, as Andrews in the 80 car. We haven't seen that 80 car up here at the front pretty much at all throughout this whole race. And up they are, 1.5 seconds away from second place. And yeah, doing a pretty damn good job. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Are they on an alternate strategy? Are they on an alternate strategy, the 80? I don't think they are.
I have no idea. I do not know the last time they pit. I wish we could figure out the last time they pit, but sadly we do not know that. I'm also wondering, where is Fuoco in the 21 car? He was leading comfortably with 10 seconds, and now he's not. I mean, maybe he's in the top 5. I don't know, but he's nowhere. He's completely nowhere. So we'll have to see what happened to the leading 296 in GTD, because he was quite comfortable up in front, but no, he's not even on our timing screen. So we'll have to wait and see what has happened to that car. Was it the 21 car? Yeah,
21A, of course. Oh, yellow flag.
21 car.
Yellow flag.
The yellow flag has come out.
Why? Come on. Is it because of the fog?
I think it is.
Oh my goodness. Also, hold up a second. A yellow flag has been called out, and Jordan Taylor has just pit for the Cadillac. He's been in the pits for a little bit. This is beautiful for Wayne Taylor Racing if this works out the way I'm thinking it is. Yellow flag. Is this a full course yellow? Or is it, I have a feeling, judging by the camera angle that we have right now, that this is because of the fog. Also, I see an ambulance in the background. Hope everybody's okay.
Dude, too.
Did you see that?
I'm looking at updates. I'm looking at Twitter. I don't really see any updates right now, so we'll have to wait and see for an update on what has happened here at Daytona. But the yellow has come out, and that's going to be bringing in the field. So you got what you wanted, but did you get it the way that you actually wanted, or?
I don't know.
This is kind of a monkey's paw moment, isn't it?
Yeah, good point. I mean, I'm looking at Twitter as well to make sure there's nothing. I mean, no one has said anything. All my sources right now are, I mean, it's currently 12 hours and 53 minutes to go of this race. The fog is at the most extreme I've seen it here at Daytona this year. As the 40 car comes out of the pits in, I believe, P7 right now. It is a full course yellow out on track. And I believe
visibility conditions. There you go. So the fog has come a lot, and now it was 1989, 2011, and now 2026 joins as the third race to be slowed down due to fog. So look at that. That is wow. That's going to be big. The question is though, is how long they're going to be staying in the fog. I'm gonna go be a meteorologist right now and check the Daytona Beach weather for
check the weather right now. That would be good.
Next little while, because as it comes, it's saying there was a dense fog advisory that came in 19 minutes ago.
There you go.
The thing is I want to see dense fog advisory in effect until 9 a.m. EST.
Whoa.
So that means there's two things. One, that means we could be under safety car for a long time. But most importantly is that the advisory ends at 9 a.m. That's at least, I think 3 or 4 hours before the end of the race. So it might slow down the race, and it might turn into the 14 hours of Daytona. But in reality, what we're going to be seeing possibly is a last little lap dash to the finish if they stay under caution due to this fog, because it looks like it's not going to be moving though quite a while. So we'll have to wait and see for any updates on that. But everyone's been slowed down now. Yellow flag.
It's possible that this fog right now, while it's going to be extreme, because we know that the weather can kind of like say like, oh, this is going to be here for a little bit or whatever. It's possible that it could change. And I don't know. I think we could be getting back to racing sooner than we're thinking, or I'm just about to jinx it. And it's going to be like the 24 hours of Nürburgring all over again from 2024. But what this does do, what we know right now, is that Heinrich's lead of 22 seconds is gone. Bamber is right on the back of that 7 Porsche, and this has closed the gap. And honestly, this was what I was hoping for, something different to happen. And now we have the fight for the lead. Porsche is no longer I mean, they're still the dominant force, but they're going to have some opposition, at least for a little bit. The question now is, when are we getting going? This is really what is going to happen. And we'll probably get some information on from IMSA in just a little bit. I don't know about this, but I wonder when the last red flag was at the Rolex 24. I mean, it's possible we could get a red flag at Daytona, and that pushes the race maybe a little bit back. I don't know. I don't know when the last red flag at Daytona was. I don't think, maybe there has never been, but this is something we have not seen for a very long time, over a decade at least. I think Nick and I both concluded that 2011 was the last time we saw this dense amount of fog that interrupted a race like this at Daytona in the Rolex 24 at least. That race was, I believe it was won by it was the year before the Meyer-Shank Racing car. I think it was a Riley DP that won, but I can't remember which team won the race.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
I'm not sure either. That's Riley Racing at Daytona is stuff I don't really remember because it's a Riley. I'm sorry. I love those cars, but not really. In a quick Google search and quick looking it up, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, the last time there was a red flag here, it was another weather-related incident, and that was in 2019 when there was a lot of standing water on the track.
Yeah.
They got a bit of a typhoon, had a lot of water coming in, and you could see, by the way, it's not just fog. Look at the wind. All the flags are really moving in, so it's a gust and a fog warning. So these cars, it's not just the fog that's going to be an issue, it's the wind that's going to be an issue. It's going to be so difficult for these cars under braking and through fast corners to keep their car stable if they're having high winds that are going to be throwing them in the wrong direction. We've seen so many times in WEC and in IMSA and in other categories, cars just being completely taken out by a crosswind. So that could be something that could play into the factors, but we'll have to wait and see as we're going to be under yellow flag for quite a while. And yeah, I've been looking to confirm about that fog advisory board. Some people say it's 9 a.m. Eastern. Some say it's 10 a.m. Eastern when that fog advisory will be lifted. But the question is, when are we going to go back racing? I don't know. We might be here for a real long time. So you never know. But this is not what we want to see as racing fans. I know the race control, I bet you the stewards, they're going to get a lot of flack for a little bit, no reason. The last time, thank you, John Vender 8668 for giving us the answer. The last time the race was stopped due to a red flag for an accident was in 2014. So thank you for that little tidbit. We really appreciate the help. But yeah, we're gonna be under caution for quite a bit here. I think we're gonna be in it for quite a while. I think we're gonna have to sit back and relax for a decent amount of time because if what the advisory board has been saying, hey, this fog ain't gonna be clearing for a while. So into the pits goes the 7 car. He's gonna be going in for his stop, and we'll see how that plays. And along with the 6, AJ Allmendinger also entering the pits as well. So these guys getting their stops under yellow, and it's not a bad time to do it, as I would say. Quite a few cars, though, entering. Yeah, we got the 2 Porsches. We got the 31 car. A lot of cars entering the pit now.
All the GTP runners are coming in, I believe, except the 40. The 40 is not going to come in. It doesn't show that Vanderhelm or Ota have come in yet, but I'm assuming they are in just a moment. I think Vanderhelm and Ota are going to try and get those laps back. I think that's what's going on. So that would be really good for them in this pursuit of theirs. Heinrich has stayed in the car from what it seems. Oh, no, it's not. Heinrich is out. It's going to be Felipe Nasr jumping in to the number 7. Nasr himself, and Kevin Estra is jumping into the number 6 from Matt Campbell. So the driver swaps once again. I don't know. I think there's been a major driver swap in the majority of cars as the stints are completed. And let's see how the grid kind of shakes up now. I believe it's going to be the 7 still in provisional lead of this race. And the 40, I don't know where it is on track. It is at the front of the field, so it is kind of gone there. The 85 and 93, I don't know if they are... I think they're either 2 laps down or a lap down.
I'm not 100% sure. Which car again?
85 and 93. The Porsche.
They are 1 lap down.
One
They're
lap
not
down.
2 laps down. They are 1 lap down. They were down 2 laps at one point, but not anymore. So,
Okay.
they probably won't be able to get their lap back with the yellow, but they will be able to get right onto the back of the guy. Someone just did a 6-7 on the live stream. I need someone to find him. I need someone to do something about
person.
it.
Find
that person. We gotta find them. Evil man. And then look at these guys saluting. These guys realizing the cameras. They probably had no idea. They didn't even realize it. That guy's got an awesome Ferrari jacket. Do you see that?
Oh my goodness, the white with the
Ferrari jacket. Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
Look at you go, bud. Hell yeah. I give that a solid 10 out of 10 Ferrari jacket.
Find the 6-7 person though. We need to find them, and
Please.
we need to put them. They need to go
We
viral.
need to put them out of the misery. We gotta put them out of the misery.
It needs to be like the Nyaum guy from F1 in Coda 2018. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
I love him. I love him so much. But you guys can't see it, but Jake and I can see it. You can't see the tri-oval right now. It is that foggy. And this is a camera that's placed right at the top left of the grandstand as the cars are coming through on track. You can see the cars as they come through, but you can't see anything. You just see the lights. So foggy here at Daytona. I don't know if we're going to be racing anytime soon, Jonah. I got to be real with you. I think we're going to be doing about 44 minutes of caution flag racing to end this stream. Yay!
Yeah, what I mean, I asked for a yellow flag. I didn't mean this.
I didn't mean this either. This is what you get for talking about it all the time.
Yeah.
This is what you get. You deserve this.
Well, I mean,
the racing gods heard, and they did not answer, bro. They did not answer.
They told me. They said, "Well, here's your yellow flag. Here, we're gonna do this now." But
monkey's paw, ladies.
I know that's exactly what it is.
Paw. Sorry, I had to get my stretch game in because we've been losing it here. Both Jonah and I, we have been sitting down a lot today. I want to argue that I've been sitting down more than you because I've been the one editing. I've been grinding, so I think my legs. I'm gonna go for a night walk after this, 100%, because it's nice and cold and I'm sweaty in my room. So I would like to do that. Someone's asking if we're watching on the Peacock broadcast. Nope, we're watching it on YouTube. I'm Canadian. I'm not American, which means I get to watch IMSA for free, which is so awesome. So I'm just streaming it for Jonah, who is sadly geo-locked. He does have Peacock on his side, but we're not going to use it because they're pretty far behind on the stream, and the YouTube one is showing really good quality. So thank you, YouTube, for doing that and being so kind to me and for being Canadian and letting it happen. But now we're going to see the running order. Nazar in 7th, Bamber 31 in 2nd. We got Estra in 3rd. Back into the car after that stint, Kevin Magnussen making his start in the 25 car. Van der Linde in the 24 car. Will Stevens in the 10 car. Jordan Taylor in the 40 car. They were in 6th and 7th respectively. Van der Helm in 8th. Ota in 9th. And Allmendinger down in 10th. So he's gone down a lap and he's lost some positions because of that pit stop. So down the order, he goes in the 10th. So I'll have to wait what's going on there. As for LMP2, sorry guys, I gotta stand. You have no idea how much this is helping me right now.
Leader is 3.
As for the LMP2 grid, we got the AO car still in the lead. We have Cameron. We got the 22 car, the United Autosport car, in 2nd. We got the Interpol car driven by Felix Acosta in 3rd. We have Alvarez in the 8 car. That's the Tower car in P4. So that's a solid little lineup there. As for the GTDs, Mr. BMW is still up in front.
Connor DeFilippi.
But I must say, because we're on board with the 3 car right now, he's not there in that front at all. They went into the pits, and now the Porsches, the Medai car and the AO car, they're second and third on track right now. So
Doing well.
I don't know if they might get that. They might get that back. We'll have to see. But as of right now, it's showing on my timing sheets that the 911s have jumped both the Ford and the Corvette, and they're second and third on track. So it's a German 1, 2, 3 in GTD Pro right now, which is that's pretty big. As for GTD though, it's a Corvette 1, 2. We got the 36 car, which has been pretty dominant for the last 2 hours. And we have my 13 car, the winner of last year's competition in the GTD, in second. And in third is the Turner Motorsport car, the BMW, with the 7296 in fourth. So that's a bit of a recap there for you guys and the running order as of right now, as we're still under yellow. And I think we're going to be under yellow for quite a bit, though. So we'll have to wait and see. I appreciate everyone's patience for sticking around and doing that. Yeah, very, very much appreciate it. I know we got 77 people right now. That's so awesome.
That's
and
great.
Yeah, we appreciate every single one of you for sticking around, because we still got a little bit of streaming to go. Yeah, we're probably going to go until we hit the halfway mark, and then we're going to call it.
Probably another 30,
maybe we
minutes,
might call it a little bit earlier if they're still going to be under yellow. That's completely up to you, Jonah. But yeah, no, Jordan Taylor now into the pits in the 40 car. So sorry, I'm burping again. But yeah, really interesting to see what's going on with them. And why they're getting the pit stops done now, because I think they're going to be under yellow for a few hours here. I really do believe that.
You know, I think as well, the 85 Allmendinger and the 2 Acuras and the 85 Porsche are now on the same lap as the other cars. As the reason why I say that is because Vanderhelm has just overtaken Taylor, and Taylor was on the same lap as the other cars. So that's good news. But Taylor and, surprisingly, Allmendinger in the pit lane.
Again. Yeah, that's the second time the 60 car's gone into the pit. So there must be some sort of issue with them. I was seeing some reports from Mr. Motorsports. It's 1 a.m. on the East Coast right now. And yeah, that visibility, like I said, the visibility board is for the fog, according to the weather's updates I've been seeing. We still got 8 hours of this dense fog.
Right.
So I don't know if that means that's 8 hours of undrivable fog, or maybe it's like 5 hours of undrivable, 4 hours. Like, we don't know. We'll have to see. Some guys in chat think we might be here for an hour. We might be here for a few hours. We don't know. We'll have to just wait and see actively with the track. I'm quickly looking up to see if there was any issues to Mr. Blomqvist and Allmendinger in that 60 car, but I don't really see anything. So
no one's talking about it now.
That car going into the pits, we'll have to wait and see what that issue is with the second Acura, but hopefully we'll be seeing them coming to the back, because they were looking so good, my Acuras, but down in 9th and 10th. Wow.
Well, and another thing as well is that someone posted in the comments, they're saying, is the conditions bad enough to potentially red flag the race? Now, right now, it kind of looks like that, but I think that we're good to keep it under yellow. I think that, okay, here's the thing. When I think of like dense, heavy fog, I think of the 2024 Nürburgring 24-hour, when it was like literally you couldn't see out on track at all. This is still a little bit visible. Like, this is actually okay. And the thing is too, is that we have floodlights out on track at Daytona as well. So this is making it a little bit better. The other good news as well is that daybreak at Daytona should be in the next 5 hours or so, 4 hours. So at max, we're going to get 4 hours of yellow flags, or whatever you want to call it. So that, because once we have the daytime hours, I think we'll be able to see a little bit better. It just kind of depends on how things go. I don't think we're going to be doing the red flags quite yet. I don't think IMSA's quite at that point. It is pretty dense fog out there out on track. So this is very, very interesting to see. But yeah, we'll see. Also, Vanderhelm into the pit lane in the 85 Porsche, and Ota also in the pits in the number 93 Acura. So 2 more pit stops in the GTP field.
That's the second
Rexy
time the 93 car's gone in as well. I'm not sure what's going on with those Acuras. There's something that's going
strategy, I
on
would say.
with those cars. But what kind of strategy would you be doing, though? This is the
Well,
second time they go into the pits, unless they're trying to go for taking advantage of the fuel stops. Look at these guys, though. The CrowdStrike LMP2 guys, they're taking advantage of a driver swap. So that's, I think, the first driver swap we've seen under the yellow flag conditions. But I am just confused on why those cars have been in the pits and they're double stopping under yellow.
the only
I'm
thing I
really
could
curious about that.
the only thing I could think of is that potentially Acura made their pit stops, and this is the same with Jordan Taylor, by the way. Acura and Cadillac made their pit stops, and then when the yellow flag came out, they kind of went, okay, let's get on the same the same wavelength as everybody else, because the thing is that if you pit earlier, then you're gonna have less energy than the front runners, and so it'd be better to have about the same or even more energy, and then catch up on the yellow flag in order to get right onto the back, have enough energy, have even more energy than the front runners, and then be on a different strategy. They might be saving a pit stop here.
They could be, and we just got our answer to why they went in. They did a driver swap. Out goes Allmendinger, and in goes seven-time IndyCar champ Scott
Ooh,
Dixon into the car.
good old
That's going to
Dixon.
be fun to watch him if it goes green. We know how fast he is in that 60 car. That's going to be really fun to see if he can get up into that fight. But yeah, again, we're looking at the corkscrew, excuse me. And we're not at Laguna, we're at Daytona. We're looking at the bus stop right here, and it is, the visibility still hasn't had any improvement. Someone Brism of Hookham saying in the chat we could barely see the AO crew doing the stop. That was the same for us. You could barely see it, at least from the tri-oval. But yeah, we're gonna be here for a while. I do wonder though what the rule is for red flags, because the last time we saw a red flag, the fog had to be so bad that you couldn't even drive in these conditions. But they could drive just fine at these slow conditions. They're clearly showing it right now. So how long that is just the question. How long are they going to stay like this? Because these drivers are hating this. If you talk to any racing driver, and we're hopefully going to try to get some professional racing drivers on
We are.
this talk show, hopefully very soon. If you go and ask them what their least favorite part of the race, it's this. And it's not just because it's slow and boring.
True.
When you're in a car like this with no AC and it gets hot, it gets really, really hot in those cars, because a lot of these drivers, they rely on the fast air blowing through the car to keep them cool. But when you're going slow like this, none of that air is rushing in. And especially at temperatures like this, you'll be praying for some kind of cold air to come in. That 99 car's been in there for quite a while. That's the second time we've seen the AO car coming for a stop. It looks like they're looking something. Yeah, the Rexy car looking like it's going for something. They're just checking the quarter panel there under the tire for an issue.
I noticed that. Yeah.
But it looks like they're also just, it's some sort of issue with that car. So we'll have to wait and see what's happening. The 343 Europol car Euro Interpol car also in the pits as well.
Same thing with the 912 Porsche as well. It also came in from Manti. That's the first form blue Porsche in as well. And just to point out, Dixon wasn't the only driver that swapped with his co-racer, Allmendinger. I believe that JDC Miller did the same with their Porsche, with Vanderhelm swapping out for Pino, who's now in that car as well. AO getting the tire now on. Clearly something's has an issue with that Rexy Porsche.
Yeah.
But I would be curious as well to find out a little bit more about the technical regulations. I know, look at this. Viewers, you're not seeing this. Of course, we would love to show you our screens, exactly what we're seeing. We're just watching the live stream of what IMSA is broadcasting. But obviously we can't because of copyright issues. It's not my stream to stream. It's IMSA's property. It's NBC's property, etc. So that wouldn't be fair and technically legal as well. Also, something else I'm very curious about is if IMSA is going to allow the Valkyrie, the 23 car, to catch back up.
Unlap itself. It's really far down. It's still about 16, 17 laps down.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's still in 19th place overall. So, at the rate it's been going, I don't think they're going to give those laps back. That's a very generous amount of laps to give back if IMSA does that. But as of right now, that 23 car is staying put down in 19th place. Yeah, I was just quickly talking about with the interior cars. These guys, when you're talking about January in Florida, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of heat. But right now at night, I wonder if they're getting a little bit cold in that car. Maybe the tip of their toes are getting just a little bit numb. You never know. I'd be curious to ask those drivers if that happens, because yeah, no, it might get a little bit cold. Scott Dixon now entering into the pit. So that's the third time that 60 cars entered the pit. One time is a lucky, 2 times is a coincidence, but 3 times something's up.
There's
yeah,
exactly.
something up with that 60 car. Despite a driver change, it's not really changed. We'll have to see something. My poor Acuras again moving down the order.
I thought it was strategy with the Dixon car, the 60, but yeah, this is clearly something's going on with the Meyershank Racing entry. That's that orange crypto sponsored entry. The I think it's sorry, not crypto, Bitcoin sponsored entry.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna
crypto is Bitcoin.
That's
Bitcoin
true. That's true.
Crypto, yeah. So you're not really wrong with either statement there.
I'm not wrong. That is true. But yeah, very curious to see what's going on with Dixon's car. Allmendinger came in the first 2 times. Now it's Dixon in as well. So 6-time IndyCar champion into the pit lane. He's going to drop down to most likely 10th. Acura sitting 9th and 10th. It's been a very unfortunate day for Acura, or at least nighttime running right now. Also, very impressed with BMW. Both of the M Hybrid V8s are P4 and 5 overall right now. Magnussen ahead of van der Linde. That's Sheldon van der Linde, of course. And maybe BMW don't have quite the pace, but I mentioned in the previous stream we did that I think BMW are going to have a little bit more pace in the night, and I think that we're showing that as well. Of course, strategy has changed the game around, and we're just looking at a camera angle as well of the track. It is extreme fog out on track. Yeah. It's not like the 24 hours of Nürburgring, but this is definitely a case in which
it's getting towards there. It's getting
is.
Towards there. It's definitely leaning towards it, but not leaning towards it. It's a lot of fog.
Too much.
I don't see them lifting this anytime soon. The thing is, though, you're talking about daybreak, and yeah, it's around 7:30 is when first light will come in. But again, that fog advisory board is not going to be lifting until 9 a.m. So there's still going to be at least another hour of daylight running where they're probably just not going to run. I know it doesn't help that they're running in the night, but running in the day with the fog is probably not going to be all that much better. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, a few other cars. Mike Rockenfeller in the 64 car, last in GTD Pro, entering into the pits. I picked the wrong Mustang in the fight. In the predictions. I thought, maybe that 64 car was going to look a little bit better. It looks better in qualifying, but nope, not in the race at all. The 65 car looking like the Mustang to take it to the Corvettes and the BMWs in that fight. So really sucks to see that 64 car all the way down. Now we're seeing a little bit of a change here in GTD Pro with some cars going to the pits. The AO cars now move down. The Meta car's still in second, but most importantly, those Corvettes not in first. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But also, I do want to mention with the BMWs, yes, the nighttime stint was kind of coming into play. I believe the reason for these guys moving up in the spots has been because of some guys pitting under the yellow flag. I could be wrong, though. But yeah, we'll have to see the 93 car entering the pits
for
again. What is going on with these Acuras? I don't like seeing this.
Well, hold on a second. I was going to mention this because this is getting a little weird now, a little bizarre. It's not just the 60 that's pitted 3 times in a row. It's the 93 too. So something's going on at Meyershank Racing to the point where both cars are going in. And this isn't, I feel like this isn't like a technical issue or something like that. I feel like this is something to do with like a team decision, but oh shoot, we forgot to refuel, or we should probably refuel a little bit more right now. But I don't know why this is the case. This is very fascinating. I'd like to see an onboard of these Acuras and see why they are going into the pit lane. Yeah. What exactly are they doing to make them go into the pit lane? But that is the biggest headline right now. It is currently Porsche, Cadillac, Porsche, BMW, Cadillac, Porsche, Acura, Aston Martin. That is the top 11 GTP cars, with Cameron leading overall in the LMP2 category, or not overall, but just in LMP2. BMW leading in GTD Pro, and then GTD, I believe the leader is the 36 DXDT green and blue turquoise Corvette GT3 entry.
Yeah, I just did a quick search while you were talking there, Jonah. No updates on the Acura. No reason as of right now as to why that car has pitted so many times that it has. But yeah, this is not what I wanted. I'm a big Acura fan myself. In an esports league that I currently race, that's the car I drive in the hypercar class. I love the Acura so much. So to see them all the way down in the order just breaks my little Honda racing heart. Hopefully we'll be seeing them come alive later in the bit, and hopefully we get an update as to why they've fallen down the grid. Because yeah, multiple pit stops under the yellow, that doesn't happen, and it's really weird that there hasn't been any updates on it. I've been looking on motorsport.com. I haven't heard anything. I've been looking again on Twitter. There's nothing. I've been seeing a few people, actually there's a few people that are at the track that are posting. One person said fog conditions are getting worse by the minute, incrementing security risk at the 2026 Daytona Rolex 24. So according to people that are at the track right now, it's not getting better. So I don't think we're going to be seeing yellow anytime soon here, guys.
Yeah, this is very interesting to see how this goes. And I mean, as Magnussen is into the pit lane in the 25 BMW from P4. Fascinating. That is very, very fascinating. Same with whoa. For the fourth time, the 60 Acura is in the pits. The 60 Acura is back in the pit lane.
I haven't seen anything. Yeah, there it is. Again into the pit lane. The 25 car entered in the pit lane. That's Magnussen. So down the order he goes.
And the 62. Is this a glitch in the time? I don't think this is a glitch.
There's no way, right? Like, why are they? Yeah, look at here's a 93 car.
No, it shows on both.
I haven't heard anything.
Both data. It shows on both data. So we have two sets of data. Yeah, look, here comes Kakushinota into oh wait, no, never mind. I thought that was in the pits, but no, that is. So the 60 and the BMW are in. BMW still in the pit lane right now. Where is the 60? We got to see what's going on there. I'm not really sure, but hopefully we get an update on the Acuras, and hopefully with that, and hopefully soon, we get an update on this race as well, when it's going to be restarting. But I think I agree with you, Nick, that it's not going to be for a while. And I was thinking as well, I think this is probably a good time as well for us to get some sleep, because there's nothing really happening right now, for us to get a little bit of sleep before we get back to action. I don't know. What do you think about that?
You know, I think we might be going towards that at one point. You know, Meyer Shank Racing just posted, and they're just talking about the caution. I'm in all caps on Twitter going to be asking, why are you guys pitting so many times? What's going on?
I would be asking the same thing, because it is very concerning to me why they are pitting so many times. Also, I just want to point out something as well in relation to pit stops. Kevin Magnussen has come out behind the 60, which is pitted 4 times. So why? That's my question.
I really
confusing.
Know as of right now. We're gonna have to wait and see on what's happened. There's nothing online as to why this is. I feel like I'm trapped. I'm trapped here.
There's nothing we can do. I mean, I don't think anybody knows the answer. I mean, I'm assuming Meyer Shank Racing do, because they're pitting. But there's no updates on why they're pitting. I'm curious to know. I mean, the BMW makes a little bit more sense because it hasn't pit in a while. Same thing with the Cadillac, but the Acuras have pitted like a total of 4 times each. So I don't know why that's the case. But I'd be curious. Unless there's some sort of glitch going on and we're just not seeing it. I don't know. However,
it'd be weird if there's a glitch going on, because we saw Magnussen go down the order. He's down in 9th.
Right. Well, it's not just. I'm talking about the Acuras, though. I mean, the Acura's pitting 4 times, but when I think about it more, we have 3 sets of data that we're watching right now, of data showing where the cars are right now. It'd be very odd if 3 different sets of data were all incorrect, simultaneously incorrect. Now, I
That'd be
know what
really funny.
you may be thinking, oh, maybe they're just the same data. No, they are all individually different data, different broadcasts. I have the IMSA stream up. I have the live data. That's the other live data from not the IMSA one. I also have the Peacock stream open, and I have some other stuff as well. I don't think this is a glitch. I think they're actually pitting, and I think that there's something going on with those Acuras.
I'm seeing someone in chat mention that it could be a strategy call, which
That's what I was thinking.
never thought about. I saw it and I was like, but why? Because you're just losing track position. But if you're just going to have more fuel than everyone else when you go back green, hey, that means you can go longer on the stop, because you could clearly see you can double stint these tires, and we've been seeing it the whole race. Multiple guys going for double stints. So we'll have to wait and see as of right now. What's going to happen? That could be a really smart play from Acura, though, if they're just constantly pitting to get fuel to just go ahead. But you never know. Like, that's like, it could be strategy, it could be stuff. We're just talking about it right now. We're just theorizing because we don't know at all. We really don't know.
And yeah, I don't think there's a way we're gonna know right now. I think that it's just a matter of time, and I'm just really curious to see when does this race actually get going again. And with the fog coming in, there's a very good chance it could be for a while under caution period. We will see. Obviously, though, IMSA knows what's best. The organizers know this is all about safety. This is all about safety, and the right choice right now is to do this. They've learned from experience. They've learned all the way back. The Rolex 24 has been under IMSA since 1975, except for that short period when it was the Rolex Grand Am era and all that sort of thing. But you know what I mean. So yeah, I don't know. I think that this is
100%.
I think this is probably a good point to take a break until we get going again tomorrow morning.
I think it's time to call it.
Agreed.
I think it is.
Because right now we're at a point where there's not much going on, and I see this as a perfect opportunity to get a little bit of rest before we get going. I take every advantage I possibly can.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we got to get going to bed and just call it a day, because
Yes.
we need some rest. We both of us have been up for like 16 hours apiece.
Yes.
So we need the rest.
Well, viewers, with that, we will end our stream here. Enjoy the rest of the race. I've heard a lot of people asking, where can you watch it? I've said this multiple times, but I'll say this again because I know there's a lot of information going around. You can watch the race on IMSA TV and IMSA's official YouTube channel if you're living internationally outside of the U.S. If you're living in the U.S., though, you can watch it on Peacock and the USA Network. That's where I'm watching. Nick is watching on IMSA. I'm watching on Peacock because I'm in the U.S., and he's in Canada, of course. And so that's what we're doing. Now, we will give you updates on how things go, but I want to make sure that we are rested and good to go for the ending stream, which we know will be absolute chaos here at Daytona, as it always is every single year. It's going to be super intense. Can Porsche go for the three-peat and get their 21st victory? Can Cadillac go for it? BMW, Acura, etc. It's going to be crazy. Who knows? Corvette, BMW may be resuming their drama as well in the daytime. Will we finally get back to racing? There's a lot of questions that are going to need to be answered in a long time. But in 18 minutes, it will be officially halfway of the Rolex 24 at Daytona. But for me and Nick, we're going to get some rest. We advise you to do the same to get prepared for an absolutely incredible Rolex 24 end in 2026. But yep, that's it for us. Have a good night. We will see you in the morning for another stream.
Love you guys. See you tomorrow.
Let's do this. See you guys soon.